Is it on?
Oh, yeah. 2 seconds. Yeah.
Take that then.
That was a little late.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Welcome to our very first No Control Zone panel. You've heard of the TSN panel. Well, we've got our panel of experts on here today. It's going to be exciting. I guess I'm the James Duffy of the podcast here, since I'll be your host. And with us today, I got my co-commissioner with me, Ryan. How you doing, buddy?
Good week last week. This week, hopefully, I got a tough matchup with one of my co-panelists here, and then pitter patter.
All right. And also joining us is our youngest member of the league, Nick Salter from Moose Lake Jagr. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
Good. How are you doing, Terry?
Excellent. Are you pumped in this rebuild year for yourself?
I had a rough week this week, but we'll get into that. Otherwise, the rebuild's going well.
How come we can win when we want to tank, but when we want to win, we can't win? I don't know.
Fucking Yanni Gretzky, man.
Yeah, Yanni Gretzky. I told you. Yeah. I told you, man. And of course, we have, as you can see, the former champ, Mr. Keith Salter, with his new badass haircut that looks like he'll fucking kill you at the drop of a bad look. Welcome, Keith. How you doing tonight, Keith?
You looked in the mirror?
I'm just a peace-loving hippie, man. You look like a skinhead that's gonna fucking kill somebody.
You want me to put a swastika up here or what?
So anyway, we got this panel all together for you here this week. Panel of experts are going to talk about how we did in the No Control Zone this last week, and a little bit about the up and coming schedule as well going on this week. So I do believe last week we started with the Bossy division, so we're going to start with the Langway division, and I start right off the bat with Mr. Ryan Kelly himself. The Bruins and Suds are number one in the Langway, sitting at 11-2-1 for 23 points, and they had a huge game against the Lakers this week, and they went 1-0-1, and they got that tie against the Lakers, 3-3, and in that tie, I got to tell you, it was a battle all week long. It was pretty much tied almost the entire week, that game. It was fun to watch for sure. And then, of course, Bruins also beat the McDavid Flames, who have skyrocketed in the standings since this since this trade was made. I think we'll find out just a little bit later that I think West might have moved out of the bottom four by just a sliver. Anyway, Bruins going 1-0-1 for the week. Ryan, how do you feel about your week?
That was a good week. I was leading most of it. Even though you said it was tied, I was 5-2, 4.5, 2.5, and then.
Oh, I'm talking about even through the day. Like it would go tied, and then you'd go ahead, and then it'd go back to tied, and it just seemed to always keep going back to tied.
And I don't know what happened, because I looked and it showed me at 41 points, and I was like, okay, so I was up 4-3 because I knew Hellbuck won on Saturday night to tie the goalie category, and then I looked later and they said they took away that goal or assist or whatever it was.
CBS does it.
Yeah,
actually NHL does it, and then CBS adjusts accordingly.
So I knew it was going to be a tie, which is fine. Like he's a tough team to get any points, like Keith was saying earlier. Any points against Renee is a good matchup. And then Flames, he did all right. 4.5 to 2.5. His goalie categories, right? Reimer is good, and Kemper's doing well, so he's improving.
Yep,
he's going to move up. He will move up.
Well, you definitely stay toe to toe with Renee, letting them know that there's another guy in the house for sure. Nick, what do you think of the Bruins?
Good week, yeah. 1-1. They're 1-0-1. 1 win, 1 tie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And ties against Renee.
What do you think?
What more can you say? Yeah.
Can they give Renee a run for his money at the end?
I mean, he's got Draisaitl, so who knows?
Yeah. I love him. He's the best. He's killing it.
Yeah, if he goes off for 10 points in a week.
But you see what?
Keep up with that.
You see what Kadri got? Like 9 or 8 or 9. Like, what the hell is that?
Kadri. I had my eye on Kadri in the draft. I had my eye on Kadri, and I didn't get him. So what do you think about the Bruins there, Keith? Are you going to give Renee a run?
Absolutely. You might want to shore up his plus minus. I mean, it's kind of pathetic minus 17. That's not going to help you in games when you're trying to keep all the other stats close.
No, it
But
wasn't.
yeah, I mean, if he's cracking 40 points and he's with Renee, absolutely.
Fact
Yep.
checking not required on the Bruins.
You've got a tougher schedule coming down.
Yeah.
You know, from now to the end of the year, he's going to have a tougher schedule to pile up the wins. So
Yeah, I got you. I'm playing you, and I'm playing like Pitter Patter's okay, but then I got Dean and Bo Sealand's in there for like the next 2 weeks, so it's gonna be if I
Yeah.
can stay with like 500 or above, that'll be a good little.
Wow, come on. 500 or above, you're 11-2-1.
I'm losing right
You're
now,
hoping
Gary.
for
I'm
500
losing right
above?
now. Check out
It's
the scores.
Tuesday, man.
You were freaking out last week too.
I
against
was.
Renee.
That's what I do, Nick. I freak out early.
That's his MO, I guess.
I just lose it. That's why I trade so much. He's gone. Get him out of here.
mhm.
No points on Monday, you're done.
That's it. Get out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
However, relentlessly on the Bruins' tail
Dean.
is the defending cup champ, the Colwood Rangers, sitting in second place, 11-3-0 at 22 points, only a point behind the Bruins right now. They are relentlessly chasing them down, going 2-0 once again this week. The Rangers beat the Islanders 6-1, and the Rangers also beat Flying Colors 7-0. The Islander game is a little deceiving. That one was a lot closer than it looked, and it could have at one point gone either way. But Dean just showed the strength of his team and just came out smelling really good. Nick?
Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? You won last year. He's right back in the hunt again this year. He's got a good team, got good goaltending again. Yeah,
Unreal goaltending.
yeah. I don't know how he does it.
He knows when they're ready for a good year.
Vasilevsky last year was a bit of a, like, everybody knew he was gonna have a good season, but then he had Talbot last year too, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and Minnesota
knew
takes
Talbot?
off. Yeah, Kaprizov comes in, tears it up. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Keith?
Yeah, just looking over it, it's kind of weird. This is something that I'm not used to seeing out of Dean, to be honest. You know, he wins it last year. It's almost like he goes into a sell mode at the beginning of the season.
He did.
to refuel.
Yeah.
He did.
And it's not, he didn't actually do it though.
I
He's
know.
He's competing.
I
It looked like he
know.
did, though.
However, he's figured this one out is, like, he's got me fucked over on it too. Cause I was like, at the beginning of the year, he was like saying, I'll give you a Kopitar and such and such. And I'm like, fuck, a couple more forwards on my side and I could be going good. And all of a sudden it's like, no fucking way. Suddenly you try to talk to him about Kopitar now. Nah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. No kidding.
So, he's one decent tanker away, really, in my opinion. And he's right there with Bruins and Renee, right?
I
You
know.
know,
I agree.
It's just
Like,
crazy. I thought for
he was.
sure he was on the rebuild. Remember, I even made
He
that
was.
podcast about, okay, this is how you do it, guys. Watch and learn. Okay, notice he had no draft picks left. Now he has draft pick 1, 2, 3, and 4 because he made these trades.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this is how you do it. You win, you go down, you rebuild, you go bottom, you go top again. And this is how it's done. And then all of a sudden he just did a switch. And it was just like, holy Christ, he's not losing nothing.
Like it's not like he's like he had thoughts of getting McDavid for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He ain't getting McDavid.
No.
And he's shopping Stützle. I'm surprised at
Yeah.
that. He loves Stützle. That's,
Oh well, he'll move him for the right price.
Well,
Interesting.
I will
would want
say Stützle came on like a house on fire, and he's not exactly a house on fire right now. And
No.
I think Dean has noticed that. And I remember one time Dean was going, Stützle is my boy, right? He's my boy, but he may not be all that. I mean, he's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but it looked like he was going to be a star in the NHL when he came on.
Ovechkin.
Yeah, he had it all, and he still does. He still does. I mean, Stützle is a good player, but once upon a time, I didn't think he'd be able to pry Stützle away from Dean.
Well, same with Lafreniere with you, and now you're shopping him.
Yeah.
Still are shopping him.
Oh yeah, I'll always have him out there. I still have high hopes that he's going to turn this around.
Oh yeah.
And
Don't undersell him. But
No,
don't oversell
no,
him either.
I'm not
That's
going to
true.
undersell him. I'm going to, I'm more of a wait and look kind of attitude as the
Yeah.
season goes on to see if he's developing. Like I'm doing the same thing with Kako right now too. Maybe it's wrong league.
Wrong league.
Yeah, wrong
Wrong
league.
league.
But I mean, Kako was at 117 games or something
Yeah.
this year, and I said, okay, I'll give him one more year to see if he turns it around. a bit.
Absolutely. Well, that's the whole point of having prospects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith traded Bo Kako for I think the
Kako.
first, right?
Got a first. I give him Strom and Kako got his first back.
It's a good
But
deal.
you know,
He came after hard for him, so I was like,
Yeah.
well,
he
both
discussed it. He went, yeah, I can do that. You know, he's got Kako for 5 years plus Strom
Yep.
for 3.
I
Yep.
saw the same thing in Kako in the preseason that Bo saw. And I've seen a lot of preseason games this year because by the way, if you guys, I've got a great illegal stream if anybody needs one, but doesn't matter. I don't know if it's illegal. Maybe it's not. I just get it anyway. It's great now because I hate it because Sportsnet for some reason puts on New York Islanders versus the Boston Bruins and Pittsburgh Penguins always on Sportsnet. And it doesn't matter if it's home or away. I get one of the 2 worst broadcast teams every time. I cannot stand Jack Edwards. I cannot stand Bob Erie from Pittsburgh. And now with this stream, I say, screw it. I'm not watching TV anymore. I'm watching my home broadcast. I've had it. All right.
Surge.
Oh,
Sports surge.
yes.
Surge.
Yeah. Okay. So
By the way, another thing that
oh.
helped out Dina was like he traded away Vasilevsky and Talbot, as Nick said, and he's probably thinking rebuild, and he gets back Campbell
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Markstrom, who Markstrom's got 5 shutouts, and Campbell every game was like one goal.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
almost have to go for it. And then he makes a couple deals, and he's right back to like on top of the world.
we talked about this last week. How
He needs the defense. That's what he needs.
Markstrom.
You got good defense, Keith.
Hey.
So you got good defense on your team.
Oh yeah, it could be available at the right price.
So is
Nick's
Nick's got
going on over there. You know,
Nick's got Pionk and Carlson, and I mean
Klingberg.
Klingberg's not doing too well yet, but he's a proven guy. So
Sounds
You
like
gotta
He
play-
had
play
4
him
points
hot for
last
those
week.
guys.
did he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a proven guy. He'll come back.
fishing.
yeah, I think Ryan's doing a little bit of fishing out there.
I always look. I'm always looking. I even look at. I look at like
Jeez,
possible
you got a
trades for
good
like.
defense.
Like I look at Keith's team. I'm like, okay, what does he need? Who could he go for? I'm like, oh, if you talk to like Pitter Pattery, talk to whomever. I don't know. I'm just looking. It's fun.
You're always looking.
Even not for myself. For
No.
other people.
Yeah, absolutely. But coming on strong this week was Sealand Hockey Club. 3rd spot now, 10 wins, 4 losses for 20 points. And he just beat the teams he had to beat this week because all he came up against was Sealand beating the Flying Colors 6-1 and beating the Gators by the same score of 6-1. So basically, Chris had to win these games, but he did it.
I heard you said Gators.
Yeah.
I heard something different.
Yeah, so did I.
Oh, tell me what the word is. What did you hear? Gators.
I heard it with a Y instead of a T.
Yeah.
Gators?
That's what I
Yeah.
heard. I was like, who the hell is that team?
Yeah. In a second too.
Oh wow! Hey, new teeth and everything, and some letters I don't pronounce the best, I guess.
T sound like Y's.
But this was a big week for Chris because he basically was in a tie with the Mustangs last week, and he's basically pulled into 3rd place by himself. What do you think, Keith?
I look going over the stats of some of his games here and stuff, and his point totals are a little bit on the
Low
second,
side?
3rd tierish numbers. You know, like it's not elitish. So those are beatable numbers. He's got very good goaltending. So where he's going to pick up his wins is against the cellar dwellers, and and occasionally he's obviously beat Renee. So he's got the tangibles to keep himself competitive. A little bit more scoring, and I think he'll be in there too.
Yeah, he had 22 points less than Renee last week.
Yeah,
and he still beat him.
Yeah.
And again, I always say like he's doing fine, but he's got so many assets. He's got Zadina and I think Lucas Raymond maybe.
Yeah.
He's got all these assets, and he just
Tell me
doesn't-
what to do with Zadina because I got him in the other league. And,
I think you keep him. I think he's going to be all right. I like him.
You do?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you keep them.
Yeah.
You've invested, if you've already invested 2 years, throwing them away at this point is kind of fucking redundant because who are you going to fill them with?
Yeah.
You want another prospect in reality, right?
Yep. Yeah,
So-
you go prospect for prospect, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Or maybe a 2-year guy who I think he's gonna be one top 2 lines. I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know what to sign him for.
Oh, you have to sign him?
Yeah, next
Oh,
year.
next year?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you got to
Cross that bridge.
Yeah,
I'm-
you got to worry about playing out of the cellar in your division before you worry about next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to waste years on him. Like if he's not going to live up to what we thought he was going to. I mean, obviously he's going to be a fairly good player, but he's still young, right? And so,
It's who they pair them with, really, is what I think.
and Detroit's starting to look pretty good.
Yeah.
Sure. They've come a long way in a short
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah, well, and it's mostly prospects that have done it for him.
Yep.
Yeah. Stevie Y is a good GM.
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah.
trust in him. He
Yeah.
built up that Tampa team, right? So that's why I went for Maurice Sider last year, and I tried a couple years back to get Zadina, but I don't know if he's in charge now, right?
Yeah.
Chris? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he does. They don't make a lot of moves, that franchise. I don't know if people don't offer him stuff or he just doesn't go looking. I'm not sure.
It could be both.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I wasn't really up for it and for trade. So I just stay inactive for a while, and then I see something that pops up that, then I want to jump on it. And like, you're an active trader. And I'm a trader when I think I need to trade.
Too active. But yeah, see that he's like Keith was saying, his points is lacking, and you got to look at like the teams like Nick has and Gators and like Dan. I mean, he's a tough.
Dan's got some, yeah.
He's a tough negotiator, but he's got a lot of talent.
It was like I'm saying, I talked with Ryan last week and I was saying, everybody, we looked at that trade that Dan got the first rounder for McDavid for 1 year. But in fairness to Dan, I went back and took a look at what Dan paid to get McDavid for basically a year and a half. And he gave up a first and second rounder to get McDavid for a year and a half. So it actually, I guess for that trade lined up, I mean, I would never do it.
But again, I would do that if I was going for it last year, because I know this year I would trade him and probably get like a first round draft or a first round pick back, right? So he only really, yeah, I know, but he only really traded a second.
Yeah.
He gave up a first and second, but he got a first and a fifth back.
True.
Yeah.
And the first this year is more valuable than last year, I would say.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first two rounds are completely.
Oh, it's stupid.
I updated my list.
Round.
Yeah, I updated my list, and there's I got 40 guys who I would like
Don't you wish you could have the picks you had this year, next year? Oh man.
No, it doesn't seem to matter. Look at where he is.
Yeah.
That's true. What am I talking about? Man, I seriously got to learn how to play fantasy hockey because I suck. And I took a look at it. I paid Troy Terry $5 to leave my team this year.
That's unreal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I said beat it for $5.
I would have given you 2 to taken him.
I had Troy Terry as a prospect. I got him from you, Ryan.
I wouldn't have given him up. I don't know where you got them from. No.
I got him from you. And
would
you
not have
told me he was a really good prospect. And I went, whatever.
that makes sense, but I don't think it was me. But
Yeah, it was you. It was you. So
history will
we
prove it.
both gave away Troy Terry. Just throwing that out there. However, I gave up. You know what? The worst part about that Troy Terry thing is I saw it in some moves he made last year. But I'm getting to that point where just a couple of fancy moves every once in a while when I see is not enough for me to throw a bunch of years at you. You know what I mean? Kind of deal thing. So, but I saw it last year, and then this year it just went, oh, this is so he's the real deal. I fucked up.
Yeah.
yeah, he just got hurt. They got hurt last year, and
Yeah.
I'm sucked for a couple of years now. They're like them and Detroit teams on the rise, right?
Yeah.
Detroit, yeah, for sure. I said Detroit, but
Yeah. I like Detroit. Detroit's always been nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cedar and Lucas Raymond.
yeah, Raymond's doing really
Oh.
well.
Yeah, I liked him in the World Juniors. He was awesome.
Then again, you know what? You got to remember another name too. Elias Pettersson started off pretty good too. Look where he is today.
Well,
Right?
he scored.
I
Scored
did
tonight.
score.
Yeah, they won tonight.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
What happened?
Fucking
What happened to
half.
Pedersen? What happened to him?
Well, he
knows?
got that injury in that, and then
He got injured last
the
year.
contract negotiations. You combine that shit, and it
Their
sometimes
star,
takes a while to come back.
I think we're from the word go with that team. Just to get off the fantasy side of it, the players don't want Green anymore, and
Really?
and I think so. They've tuned them
Really?
out, and that's whoever it may be. I just hope whoever it is going to be a hard ass, because it's this way. No, we're going to redo this again. No, there's going to be rules, like almost like a Lamorello kind of guy.
Yeah,
Set the standard, and this is how it is. And if you don't like it, I'll fucking ship you out or I'll bury you.
I think Montreal made a good move by taking Gorton.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know him.
Well, he's the Rangers guy. He's the one who got fired because he didn't like what was it?
Fuck, you know what?
He didn't like the move the Rangers made or something.
Dino would be a better one to know that.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Give him a call.
He stuck to his guns. It may not even be Ranger related, but he said something that he would never do it either, or something along those lines. Anyway, he got fired for that. So,
But Nick, you're watching Vancouver a lot, right? You're a fan. Is Pedersen? Is he going to bounce back?
He's been playing better.
Does he?
Yeah, I've watched most of their games this season. He's turned it around. He's just like snake bitten right now.
Okay.
His shots just aren't finding the back of the net. The Canucks in general are playing better than but they just haven't gotten those lucky bounces yet. So
I like
we'll
Garland.
see.
I like that guy.
Yeah, that's been a good trade so far.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. OEL hasn't put up many points either, but he just looks good every game.
Yeah.
He's not there for the putting up the points at this stage. That's Quinn Hughes' job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OEL's the big guy now. Shut him down.
Would you ever trade Hughes, Nick?
It'd have to be a pretty big package, but yeah.
how many years
The
got
David
left on him?
price?
He's got 4 still.
Yeah.
I
don't.
Yeah,
it'd be at least a first.
Oh, for sure. And like a 2 or 3 year guy would be nice.
Yeah, or like a half decent prospect or something.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Not decent.
Yeah.
Fucking stellar prospect, man.
I just wish people could go by that formula of the 5 years for first, like especially the first 6 anyway.
Yeah.
I wish somewhere along that line or in the ballpark, but man, a first year guy for a 1 year player. I mean, granted, we'll get to pitter patter a little bit later, and basically Vasilevsky's carrying that team right now. So
but he gave up Campbell. I don't think he needed to do that. It says you got less than a minute here, Terry. Does that?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break here. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to the 4th place team in the Langway division, and it's Keith Salter's very own Macaulay Mustangs, who are 9-5-0 for 18 points. They dropped to 4th this week. They were in a tie for 3rd last week with Sealand, but Sealand pulled ahead of them. The Mustangs went 1-1. They beat the Highlanders easily 6-1, a team they should beat, and had a battle with the Islanders, losing 5-2. And he didn't have enough, getting to Foley 3 points and then going and looking at the stats and then finding out that he got 3 points into an empty net. I guess it wasn't enough for the Mustangs, but hold on a second. There he was on the ice, so he got a +3. Oh, Letang's on Pittsburgh. Oh, I get a -3. So a +6 in that category. Man, the hockey gods and fantasy hockey hate me. I'm so surprised I beat you. End up getting hit by COVID. Ended up getting injuries. And anyway, the Mustangs fell to the Islanders.
I thought this was about Keith, not you.
I know. I tell you, you should have heard me here, Keith. I was going, are you fucking kidding me? Are you?
I was kind of giggling when I seen Johansson knocking up 4 points.
That was nice. That was huge.
But to Foley 3 points into an empty net in the same game?
I know. I saw that.
Oh, yeah. Must have been going, woo, woo.
Yeah, I was.
I was going, you got
it. Come back and beat him. But you know what? Here's the reality. It's okay that you beat me now, because it never ever matters now.
No.
It's
Yeah,
you gotta
you're
just
right.
get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was proven last year, right?
Yep.
But it was important for you to go 1-1 for the week because
Oh, absolutely.
you know, you still got the Wolfpack on your heels and stuff like that.
Yep.
And even though you guys got a pretty good padding for your spot, but we know how fast those can go in fantasy
that can
hockey too
change.
as well.
Yeah.
2 weeks you can go 0-4 and a team can go 4-0 and whoa, all of a sudden
Yeah.
you
The
never
lineup
know.
could be set, and all of a sudden the teams get 3 games taken off the schedule, right?
Yeah.
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
It can happen to all of us. It can happen at any given time sometimes. So yeah, having a cushion right now is a little bit of a key, but
So
end of the day.
my impression with the Mustangs is their weak spot is goaltending.
Yeah, you would think like Bukowski is what, 11-2?
He was absolutely outstanding last game. I watched that whole game. He was like, whoa, is this Koskinen playing?
Yep.
Like,
he's the diamond in the rough.
Yep. And
No,
Allmark should be doing better too. Like, but they just went to Swayman. Like,
yeah.
they signed Allmark to be the guy, well, kind of the guy, but they've been.
I think that they could just be playing them both, keeping them both going.
Yeah.
And, I think later in the season, one of them is going to establish it themselves. And, or Rask comes back and they're both pooched.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I know I need some goaltending, but on the same token, you know what? I'm not going to invest large into it because I think that Vanacek's coming. So,
Yeah, yes.
I know that sometimes you can't have the best because everybody else has already got them. So
It looks like fourth place will get you a date with the Lakers.
that's true.
But you could. I like your team. You're like your team.
It is.
Yeah, you could.
If I'm going to beat Renee, the way I'm going to beat Renee is that I'll be getting all the meatheads and all the top plus minus guys on the waiver wire.
That's it.
And
make your goalies.
then I'll pray that I get one goalie stop from them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. Your defense is good. Like your forwards are good. Maybe they're just not like producing, but you got good producing guys.
Well, Keith, didn't you get in a trade this year, like 4 defensemen or something?
Yeah, that was a good trade.
Made your team.
What
was the trade? I can't remember it.
I made that trade with Al.
But what was it? What'd you give up?
I give him a first. I know I gave him a first.
Yeah.
And he ended up giving me Yandel, who hasn't really done much.
No.
Wierenski,
Very good
who's
player.
contributing. Shabbat.
Yep. Shabbat's
He's
good.
contributing, but he's not getting a lot of points.
He wasn't doing like he was when he first came in.
But that's on the same token. He could still.
He's
got a pedigree. It's gonna come.
Yeah.
So
you got years on Shabbat, don't you?
Hey?
You got years on Shabbat, don't you?
He's got 2.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, but it's again, that's I was almost looking at that trade as I get 4 defensemen. It's roughly 5 years.
Yep.
First round picks, we can't sign them for any more than 5 years.
Yeah.
And you got one back. You got a first rounder from both. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously by making the trade, you're hoping you're in the bottom 4. I wasn't making the trade to be in the bottom 4. So if you're going to compete a little bit, you got to spend a little bit of assets to kind of play with it for a bit. So it was Doughty, but obviously he's being out for a little while. But
he's coming back soon though.
Yeah, he'll be back soon, right?
Yeah, he's coming back next week.
It's almost like making another trade, right?
Yep, that's right.
I'm good where I'm at right now. I know that I'm not with the top 4 teams, but over a 2-week period, I might surprise somebody.
Yeah, you're not that far.
Yeah. But right on your tail right now is the Portland Wolfpack in 5th place.
Port Elgin.
Or Port Elgin. What did I say?
You said Portland last week too. I should have corrected you last week.
No, I am saying Elgin. It's the teeth. I'm telling you. It's it just doesn't sound. I'll say it again. Port Elgin Wolfpack.
The Port Elgin Gators.
Gators. Okay. Anyway, the Port Elgin Wolfpack are 8-5-1. Everybody's a critic. 17 points, and they kept pace with the Stangs because they also went 1-1 this week. The Wolfpack had a big win over Pitter Patter, and they beat them 5-2. But the East Coast Brewers, who were hot this week, came and beat the Wolfpack 4-3. So for the week, they went 1-1. Nick.
I mean, yeah, he's still got some good players from last year's run. he came on strong the last year at the end. And who did he knock off Dan last year in the first round of the playoffs? I think he
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah. So you never know.
He upset everybody.
He ended up going to the finals against Dean, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. I wouldn't count him out yet.
Well, Bo never finishes where he's just like Ryan. He's always working on his roster. So you never know what his
Yeah.
roster is going to be at the trade deadline.
You know, he's working on something right now. I can feel it.
Who, Bo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's got some. He doesn't. Whenever I make a trade, he's like, I got to make a trade now. Go for it.
Well, he needs to trade something good to me.
Oh yeah.
Either one of you. I'm still thinking about that one you threw at me there. Just as
No, you guys have something on the go, do you?
I did.
It's still on the go. It's still on the table. I said it was
All right.
still on the table. I'm seriously thinking about it, and I'm going like, the one thing I like about dealing with RK is that right off the bat, it's in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like we don't do any ridiculous so far apart in our trades that we got to work our way in negotiations. So when Ryan sends you a trade, most of the time it's just like, oh man, it's right in the ballpark. So I can't even really negotiate it. And it's just a fair trade. And I'm still thinking about it, Ryan.
All right. Let me know.
Yeah. Well, the problem with thinking about trades with you is you trade away.
It's true.
So if you think too long with Ryan, well, he would have done it, but he just snoozed too long, dude.
I got the itch.
Got the itch. So yeah, I think Bo's looking really good. Once again, I think he's in a good spot, and he's in 5th place. He's in a solid playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
So he's looking real good right now. And it was important that since up top, everybody except for the Bruins, everybody up top went undefeated. But Rangers and Sealand went 2-0. So it was important, and the Mustangs went 1-1. So it was important for the Wolfpack to come at least 1-1 for this week.
Yeah.
If you're like top 5 in our division, if you lose 2, you're losing ground on pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
Well, they lost 1 and they lost ground.
Yeah. You need to be going at least 500.
Yeah. Just to stick around for those bad weeks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And coming up in 6th place was an excellent week for our other co-commish, the Living Skies Capitals, going 4-9-1 at 9. They're now closing in on the bottom 4. Al guaranteed us, if you remember on a podcast, that he would be in the bottom 4. And I thought he was slipping too far away. He had that week where he went 2-0, and that wasn't good. But this week he goes 0-2, losing 7-0 to the Flames and 6-1 to the East Coast Brewers. Ryan?
Well, I mean, the Flames had a good week, and you got to win. That's good to get some moving up in the right direction. And Al goes to the right direction that he wants to go to. And East Coast has a strong team, so that's the way it should have been. 0-2, just the way Al wants it.
Yeah, worked good. What do you think of that, Nick? Competition, buddy. Because
I think I cursed
in a second, but
I think I cursed myself by saying Al's team sucks at sucking. Now
you
all of
did
a
say
sudden
that.
he does. He's good at
That's true.
sucking. So
That's right.
Yeah.
You posted that. You put it out in the world.
Oh, I know. I'm regretting it now.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Al was already way too far up at the time, but he's not too far up now. Now he's 4-9-1. If I remember, that was 4-5-1 at one point.
Yeah.
And when he was 4-5-1, I was thinking to myself, "Ooh."
I mean, you gotta remember the bottom feeders all have to play each other, though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Nick found that out this week.
Right.
Yeah.
So those guys are going to sort out the bottom for themselves, really.
Yeah. But
you win 2 times, you're going to move up.
One of Nick's problems is he's got an active goaltender.
Yeah.
Well,
Quick?
And
Quick,
he's got an
Quick's
active
fucking-
goaltender. He can't hide his goaltender.
The Kings are
doesn't have the
decent this
roster
year.
space to
They
do
are.
it.
They are.
Yeah.
They're a good team this year.
So you've got Al playing out there with no goaltender.
First third takes quick.
First 13.
That's a reasonable price, actually.
Yeah, look at Ryan.
We got to think who needs a goalie. Well, I think Keith needs a goalie. That's,
I think Keith
there you
does
go.
need a
I
goaltender.
like this. Here we go.
All right, let's
we-
start
did
some
we-
negotiations right here, right now.
Can we lock it down right now? A little virtual handshake.
Could we get a could
I'd have to
we
get
get
rid
an
of 2 years.
online trade?
It's not a bad deal.
I have to
I
look
don't know.
at
Do you have
it.
a
Gotta
do you have
give
a
him
bum
back
one?
something.
Do you have a bum 1-year goalie?
Not really.
How, it was quick 1 year,
No, Quick's 2.
2 years. How many
Yeah.
years you got on your roster, Keith?
I'm
Oh,
not.
he's got lots.
You're maxed?
Oh, you're max now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You got 55.
I could do it. There's ways to do it. I just drop a couple of my 1 year
Well,
There's
no,
always
I'll
ways,
take 'em.
Keith. Always ways.
1 year waiver wires. I
Yeah.
have to move. I don't know if well,
I like
Alright.
it. Here we go.
We may have started a live trade happening right here.
Beautiful.
If you see this on the website 3 days from now, you saw its infancy happening right here on
There
the
you
no
go.
control zone panel.
I like it. Love it.
on the fairness side, I think that it's now that it's kind of out there, then I think it's fair to give other people a shot.
No,
Yeah.
they,
Sure.
they're gonna have a shot if they watch this tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. I like that. That's good too. Then.
The week's already started now, so I don't need to make a fucking trade today. I can make
No.
the trade on Sunday.
Yeah, it's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. But like
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
they'll have no excuse because if they watch the podcast, they'll have known that there was
Yeah.
a chance to get out there and get her done, and they didn't. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you got to think who needs a goalie, and it's like Renee doesn't. I think I'm good. Dean
I
doesn't.
got Blatter.
Ooh.
Blatter's gonna be a squeaky guy. He's a good 1B guy.
Yeah, I hope he like just the one win with the shutout. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Well, no,
No, I think he's
going
gonna be better than that.
Yeah.
One win and a 930 save percentage once a week. Fuck, man,
Yeah.
you can't complain about that.
Yeah, that's why I picked him up. And maybe Markstrom gets hurt too. But I don't want to put that out
Yeah.
there.
That would help everybody if Markstrom went down because
Yeah.
then Dean suffers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then he comes to me crawling for the dollar, and I make him pay.
Well, you know what? I hope everybody here knows why Markstrom is putting up the numbers that he is. It's one name.
Ian
Yeah.
Clark.
No. Daryl Sutter.
Oh, the system.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It took him a year to get it going. And I'm telling you, man, that guy is like a Barry Trotz when it comes to defensive systems.
Hmm.
And I'm sort of surprised that he did it that quick because they were so bad at the end of last year. But
Oh, awful.
he stuck
Yeah.
to his guns even when they were shit in the bed last year. And I didn't expect them to catch the system that fast this year, but they had a half a year to work on it, right? And in my opinion, the reason Markstrom is doing so well is because he's got a good defensive system going on in front of him. And I'm not going to take anything away from Markstrom. He's still a good goaltender, but we always knew that.
Yeah.
I think it's Sutter.
Could
I
be.
think I'm trying. I don't like Pitter Petter could. He's got Blackwood and Vasilevsky.
He can't play in Canada though.
Who?
Oh, is he not? Is he not?
Not in Canada. Blackwood.
Blackwood.
Because
he's
he's
not
vaccinated, is he? He's vaccinated. I
I
think.
thought
he's
Bertuzzi
vaccinated.
was the only player in the NHL unvaccinated.
Is that right?
No.
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong.
We had one on the Islanders and Lou sent him to Sweden. He goes, go with them. They don't got any protocols.
Get out of here.
All right. So moving on, we got the Quebec City Outlaws. And the Quebec City Outlaws are a real tough team to figure out. And the reason they're a tough team to figure out is because they compete every week, but they still seem to lose. So you think it's kind of a tank. So they're sitting at 2-8-4 for 8 points right now. They did have a good tank week going 0-2. They lost to Pitter Patter 4-3, but once again, a competitive game. And of course, they lost to the Outlaws, or they lost to the Lakers. No shame in that, 6-1. So I find the Outlaws hard to figure because they do have good goaltending, which can have a tendency of winning them games. And right now, they're currently in a lottery spot, but I'm not sure they can stay down there if they keep winning. What do you think, Nick?
I haven't really followed his team too much, to be honest. yeah, like you said, I know
They're
he
all
does have good goal-
competitive. Every game they're
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah, anytime I'm looking at scores, it seems close. Like if I'm flicking through all the weekly matches and whatnot, like even if he's losing 5-2, like
Yeah.
he's not that far behind in many of the stats, except Renee, but who isn't getting smashed by Renee. So yeah, it seems like he's kind of been a bottom feeder for the last couple of years. So I don't know when
Well,
Quebec's
I
gonna
don't know
turn
if
it
you
around.
don't know if you remember or not, but JP was pretty much a bottom feeder for the first 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And then he stormed up and made all his cash in 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a good run.
Period. And
Yeah.
he got some good cash in there. So, hey, JP's in the positive when it comes to cash.
Yeah.
So if that's his system, that's his system. I personally, I think it's more that he just he's not invested as much as us, as the rest of us in the no control zone. But I could be wrong. So
I don't think he can't stand in the bottom four. His team's too good. Anytime he plays
what
like
I
the
thought.
Knicks and Gators and Dan, then he'll just beat them. You know,
that's
he'll
what I thought. So
beat up
too.
on Al, so he'll be middle. He'll be middle.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so too.
he'll be in the 5-8 slot for sure.
Yeah,
I
which
think
is
so.
still a great player, but I mean, you gotta, if you want to go for bottom, go for the bottom. But I don't.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what he.
You might as well try to get some other draft picks, but then he somehow skipped that 5th overall pick from you after the season was over. So
Yeah, but I wanted I wanted the goalie.
I know, I know what I know what you wanted. I know what you
I traded
wanted,
back
but-
on a defenseman, and then I looked at it and saw that the people between 5th and where my pick was going to be didn't need goaltenders, so I could get Gibson then. which-
Right. I know you explained the whole thing to me because I had no pick, remember?
Yeah.
In that spot. And I was going, I was thinking, oh, you never know, right? That's just a lot of picks.
Yeah.
You just don't you don't know what everybody else is thinking. So
True.
you're going like, that's a lot of picks to say, oh, I don't think anybody wants a goaltender, because then all it takes is that one person to surprise you.
Yeah. Then I was screwed.
Yeah. Well, you still got a good pick. Was it 10th?
I think so. 9 or 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10, somewhere in there. Oh, it was 9 because you won. No. Yeah, you won the 9th overall pick last year with your team.
Yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, that brings us to 8th place in the Langway division right now. And one of our panelists, Nick Salters, moved like Jagr, are now 3-9-2 for 8 points. They had a really, really bad tank week, going 2-0. One of 4 teams this week going 2-0 is the 8th place Moves Like Jagr by beating the Gators 4-3 and beating Highland 5-1. Nick, how did this happen?
Well, you guys were talking last week, you and Ryan, and you were saying that I'm definitely going to be in the bottom 4. That's my intent. But I don't think my team's quite as bad as it looked on paper. I got some decent guys, had a slow start, and they're kind of turning it on now. So I think it's going to be hard to stay in the bottom 4, but I intend on doing it.
I think compared to Gators and Dan's, they're both worse than you. So you'll probably beat them like you did this week.
Dan's got a lot on his bench.
It's all on the bench.
Yeah.
But like you might have problems with Al because Al doesn't have unless you trade away unless you trade your goalie away.
Yeah.
But like JP should always beat you, I think. Like because he's always competing.
I think at the start of the season I beat him or tied him, but
did
weeks.
But
anything can happen.
JP's competitive with other people too.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And he may scoop a win out of somebody that he shouldn't scoop a win from because
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So where
He
I don't think
cranked
Nick
out 30 points last week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
that's 30 points is a pretty good week.
I think I was at 26.
Yeah.
Were you?
Even a good team, you know, he can play in a good team. The good team sinks and he goes up for 1 week, and that's a victory.
Yeah.
And I can see that happening with his team.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he goes 5-8, and then he's the devil is what he is, because he can dictate the standings based on how well he plays against a specific team on any given week.
Yeah. Well, if you just take a look at the Outlaws record, 2-8-4. So they had 4 ties.
Yeah.
Those are games that could have went just either way in their favor or against them, right? And I'm thinking more it's like in your favor, because if you're constantly tying somebody, that means you're competing with them. And I'm not really sure how it'll end out, but I will say one thing, Nick.
ahead,
last week we had Nick. Who are the three we had in the bottom? The Gators and Dan. We had
Dan
them
and
as
myself, yeah.
guarantees. I
Yep.
don't have you as a guarantee anymore, Nick.
Oh, I still do.
Yeah.
I
I think I'm still bottom 4 for
Yeah.
sure, but
Could be, but I don't. I had you as a guarantee before. I don't have you as a
Yeah.
guarantee in my mind right now. As
it's
bottom
just
four.
it's the people who he's competing for down there, and I think maybe Al's more of a threat than I thought he was going to be, but JP I don't think is a threat. And
Yeah,
who else is going down there for that?
I think we're the main 4 that are really going for
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I just got unfortunate and fucking Yanni Gretzky gets me 4 points or whatever. Klingberg gets 4 points and wakes up all of a sudden this season. I think Nishushkin had 4 points as well. And I was playing the 2 worst teams
He
in the
did.
league. So
Nikushka, I was
yeah.
surprised. I'm like, who's got
'Cause
them? Like,
McKinnon-
Nick's got him.
McKinnon's out. So everybody's just feeding off Landeskog and Rantanen right now.
Rantanen, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's a lock, but you're I got more faith, faith in Terry does for you than the bottom 4.
I think I'll be bottom.
Don't get me wrong. I said I still think he'll be there, but I have him as guaranteed. And there's things that could happen here. Like I told you today, some team got 8 COVID people on it, right?
Yeah, another bad week. And
We don't know what's going to happen. We're almost into last year's territory. We're getting to that point right now.
Yeah.
So what is the NHL going to do? Are they going to immediately stop this team's games where they made the Islanders play 4 games? And oh, by the way, one of the teams that reported was the Canes, who played the Islanders, who were broken out with COVID at the time. What's that, Keith?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. And so you just don't know when that's going to hit you. And if it's the right combination of your players, of teams that are going down with this COVID. See, not only did it kill me that I lost my Islanders, but because I lost my Islanders, I also lost Panarin from playing because he was supposed to play
Sunday game.
Right. So you just don't know how that's going to work out.
That hurt Bo too. Bo's got a lot of Rangers, and that hurt whoever he lost to this week.
Yeah. So it's we're going to be interesting.
But you don't know what's going to happen in this league. Just 10 minutes ago, there was a trade talk between Keith and Nick. So his goalie's going to be going away. So he'll have no goalies.
That's very possible.
Well, that helps him out.
It does help him out. That would help him out big time.
Yeah.
I was looking at it and you got super lucky. Well, it didn't matter because you beat the Gators anyway, but it made the game close. He had a goaltender play late in the week.
Alan played.
Yeah.
And you had that category and you had it like at an 842
Oh, my shit
percentage
was
or
awful.
something.
Oh,
and you had the goal.
Yeah,
And
quick got lit up.
That's why I say you're not a guarantee in my mind to be the bottom 4, because shit like that can happen.
Yeah.
Always around it though.
Yeah. All right. So let's just quickly review the Langway division. So we got the Bruins on top at 11-2-1 for 23 points. The Rangers following close behind and have been in hot pursuit of the Bruins all year at 11-3-0 for 22 points. Sealand looking good at 10-4 right now for 20 points. And the Mustangs coming in at 9-5 at 18 points for 4th place. Wolfpack pulling off the wild card position at 8-5-1 for 17 points. And Al is slowly starting to slide to the bottom at 4-9-1. He's now 6th place in the Langway division. The Outlaws 2-8-4. We talked about him. We're not sure which way JP is going to end up going, but currently right now he sits in 7th place, and we got Nick down in 8th place, which is still good for a lottery position for Nick. And when I say lottery position, I'm just meaning picks 1 to 4. I think everybody seems to know that. Anyway, we're going to head on to the Bossy division now, where the number 1 team in the league is still sitting as the Harrison Lakers, 12-1-1 for 25 points. And they had a huge game against the Bruins this week that we've already talked about. That was a 3-3 tie. Quite an effort by the Bruins there, going toe-to-toe with the big boys. Will Renee win that 4th cup this week, going 1-0-1. Keith, what do you think of our buddy Renee?
Just call him the moneymaker.
I like that.
Yeah.
Renee moneymaker.
Right? Fuck, like.
Yeah.
That's it. I like it.
He won WCHP last year.
Okay. Well, he's never really dominated over there. I think he's got that. If he won last year, then I think that might be his 3rd.
Do you
But
know?
he's always competitive there. He doesn't miss. There's not too often that he ever misses the playoffs.
Do you know
He's
who's in
in the playoffs
first?
all the fucking time.
Do you know who's in first? Colwood Rangers this year.
So they're just avoiding each other is what they're doing.
Well, yeah, smart move on both parts.
Dual threat.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like from the inception of the league, really, if you go back on it and you look at it and you look at the money, like fucking just call him the moneymaker.
Oh, for sure.
He's got to be
figure it
close to
out.
$3,000 now, no?
He's over $3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of that's mine. At
No.
least 800 of it. No, that's true. I've
A
won
lot of
100,
that's Ryan's
I've
money
won
too,
150. Yay. I misspoke last week when I said Blake had more career money winnings than me. No, I have more than Blake.
Oh,
I have 152 or something. Blake's got 106. So screw you, Blake, in your one fucking year.
his first year.
It's okay. I think Blake's going to have a rough couple of years. He went all in last year and yeah.
I don't know, man. He's made some really nice trades, and this
Yeah.
is a really, really
It's a great draft. Yeah.
draft. And
That's
I'm
unreal.
telling you, that second that he just got could be
Yeah.
huge.
It makes me want to. It makes me want to tank, especially when you got like
I know it's
Dean
nuts.
Stutzel and
It's nuts. It's just absolutely
Yeah.
nuts. It's crazy, and you see the Islanders have all their draft picks right now, and there's there's a reason for it. Well, at one point I wasn't sure if I was going to be a lottery team the way I started, but it's
You
just
still
too
can.
deep. And the way Dan wanted to be Scrooge with hanging on or getting a first for McDavid, I want to be a Scrooge with these guys, because I know that I'm not just trading away.
You're not
A
just
pick.
trading away a normal first. Yeah.
That's right. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. But anyway, Harrison Lakers are solidly in first place in the Bossy division. However, in second place, the East Coast Brewers have been having a really good season. Had a rough week last week when they went 0-2. However, they rebounded this week nicely with a 2-0 week. The Brewers beat the Capitals 6-1. They also beat the Wolfpack 4-3, and that was kind of a big game. Good job by Donald there winning that one. So Brewers 10-4-0, 20 points, sitting nice at second place. It could be hard to catch up top. It'd be hard for anybody below them to catch in. Good spot.
Yeah.
who are you throwing
Yeah.
to?
What's that, Ryan?
Who are you throwing to?
Oh yeah, I didn't throw it this time. I'm throwing it to you, Ryan.
All right. Yeah, he's like just as Renee's solidly in first, he's solidly in second. There's not. I don't think Pitter Patter can catch him. I don't think you can catch him, but it's a long season. He's got a good team.
Yeah.
Jerry's playing well. Hart's playing well. It's got great forwards. Made some improvements in defense, so he's not going down anytime soon.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Pete.
No, I just agree with him. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, it's a good, solid team. The Brewers
Yeah, it
are a good, solid team. They just need to hang around second place, and who knows? Like he could end up in first place. You
Only
don't know.
problem is that he's hitting a powerhouse team coming out of that in that first crossover.
True.
Yeah,
Right?
True.
Yeah.
He's getting a reward by finishing second and like
Yes.
being second, but there
Yeah.
it isn't really a reward.
Well,
He third place team.
I'd rather be a 10-4 team playing another 10-4 team. That's basically his best option right now.
Yeah. I'd rather be playing you than Ryan.
Yeah.
right.
No offense to your team, but yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
I like that. I'll
So
do it.
yeah, could work out good for Dono. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming up in third place, we've got Pitter Patter, and they're just barely over 500 at 7-6-1 for 14 points. However, they kept pace with what they needed to do this week by going 1-1. Pitter Patter beat the Outlaws 4-3 and lost to the Wolfpack 5-2. Nick.
Yeah. Like we said, you got to be going 1-1 if you want to have any shot of making the playoffs. So yeah, I haven't really followed his team too much either. I know he made the big deal for Vasilevsky at the start of the season. That's paid off well. I mean, he's the best
But,
goalie in the world right now.
The bottom line is he's in a playoff spot. So the most important thing for Pitter Patter is staying in third spot.
Yeah,
And he's
gotta
got
watch out for you.
Barkov and he's got Barkstrom, and so
Yeah.
whenever they get healthy, he'll his points like that, that'll help out his points, but he's still not, I don't think he's gonna be like an average 30+ point guy. I don't think. Maybe he might be, but
I do think that Vasilevsky is keeping him up at 7-6-1 right
yeah,
now.
that's why he traded.
Sure it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that alone, he's just destroying the goaltending category. He's getting like two goals almost weekly
Yeah.
out of the goaltenders just on Vasilevsky alone, just like Dean did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Imagine
good
he didn't
trade.
trade Campbell. Imagine he didn't trade Campbell. Just take a first.
Yeah, I know. No kidding, eh? Yeah, like who saw
That's
that?
that's
out of
painful.
Campbell? Who saw that out of Campbell? Nobody saw that out of Campbell.
No,
Sure, come on, man. His pedigree said that. He was drafted by Dallas.
He was, but then he
Dallas
never.
didn't- Dallas had good goaltending. They eventually just moved him to LA. In LA, he had to face quick when they were winning the
Yeah,
cups.
that's true.
Kind of, like, how old is he?
Yeah, a lot of it's
Pretty smart
politics,
guy.
right?
He-
It's how to
he
get in the
was a
lineup.
spring chicken.
True.
So he's had to play to get where he is, and coming out of junior, his pedigree was there. I'm going to guess at this, Terry. He went 16th overall in his draft.
Campbell.
Campbell. I'm guessing at this, the year that he was drafted. I want to say that he was about 16th.
You were right. He was the number one pick. It was like 2009. I saw Campbell in Saskatoon at the World Juniors, and Trudeau was on that team, and Hamonic and Petrangelo and Ellis were on Team
Probably him.
Canada, and they beat us. They beat us in overtime, but yeah. I mean, he was slated to be a first round draft pick the whole time that he was up, and I think you're right. He went around that 15, 16 area, somewhere around there.
Good goalie.
So he's got the
Some-
pedigree.
At some point, the Leafs are gonna choke, and they'll go on like a
I know.
1-8-3 record.
That's
It'll
the
all
beauty
balance
of it
out.
here. I'm just kicking
Yeah.
back. See you in the playoffs, Leafs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have to give the Leafs a little bit of credit. They are finally
They
starting
look good.
trying
They look
to
good.
build the
Yeah.
right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just still don't know if that salary cap is gonna always
It's a
come
rough
back
one.
and bite them.
Paying 4 guys 40 million or something,
know.
38 million. Like,
Well, next year you can add Morgan Riley onto that pile
yeah.
to be
they're
50
gonna sign
million
him.
for about 5 guys.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
So-
And
tough.
then you wonder why you can't compete.
I got to think one of the big 4 has to go.
Yeah.
Because Riley's
I-
contract kicks in next year, right?
Yeah.
Take Tavares back.
They can't.
the island.
They can't. He's got a no. He's the only one with a no move.
Oh,
Mm.
that's too bad.
No, we don't want him. Fuck,
He
why
was
would we-
able to get a
kind-
new movement clause.
I kind of imagine Nylander's gonna be gone, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
They should trade for Kane, Evander Kane. Somebody, so hey, the NHL, somebody take Evander
Well,
Kane.
but he's going to Seattle.
Oh, Kane?
what?
I don't
I'm
mind.
thinking he's going to Toronto.
No way, he's going to Seattle.
Half price. Half price. They're talking now about taking half his contract. I'm thinking Leafs.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to watch him go through and cancer that whole locker room.
Well, I don't think that they would let him. I think that there's enough people in that fucking dressing room that would say no.
Kane went toe to toe with Buffalo. So, you think
Yeah.
anybody on the Leafs is going to stop Kane? I don't think so.
I don't think Matthews is saying too much.
Matthews is it? No.
Yeah, you just punch him in the mouth. That'd be it.
Yeah.
That'd be the end of that. It's going to be interesting though, for sure. For sure. All right, guys, we're gonna take a bit of a break here because I see we're running out of time again. This
Running out
is
of time.
Okay, so we're going to 4th place, which is normally a playoff spot in the Bossy division. It has been every time anybody else has ever finished 4th place in the Bossy division, but not this year. The Islanders are sitting at 5-7-2 for 12 points. And they are not in a playoff spot. They currently would lose out to the wild card. They were fighting COVID and battling injuries, but somehow managed to pull off a 1-1 week. The Islanders beating the Mustangs in a 5-2 game, which was a lot closer than the score indicates. And as well as the Rangers beating the Islanders 6-1. The Rangers really didn't beat the Islanders that bad in that game. All the categories were pretty close. So I guess to open this one up, I'm going to go to myself and I'll say I needed to go 1-1 this week if I needed it badly. And I saw what Dean went through last year. And like I already said earlier, he was up top by the time all his injuries and COVID started happening last year. I wasn't, but Dean still somehow managed to win during that period. Like, yeah, he had 1-0-2 week, I think, but he always tried to manage like a 1-1. So I thought for myself, this one was crucial to go 1-1 this week. I thought I had a better chance against the Mustangs and the Rangers. It's exactly what happened. And it was important because the Port Elgin, or not Port Elgin, Pitter Patter went 1-1. So it helped me keep pace with Pitter Patter. The Mustangs went 1-1, so it helped me keep pace with the Mustangs, and the Wolfpack went 1-1, so it helped me keep pace with them as well. So I really thought it was a real crucial week for me to go at least minimum 1-1 in this week. Ryan?
Well, agreed. If you're 5 points back from Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So you need to keep doing it. You need to go at least 1-1 or 2-0 this week, and you need to keep packing up pound of the W's and
or 2
tank.
points behind Pitter Patter.
I guess that's more. Yeah, that's definitely closer. Yeah, that's more realistic, at least at the moment, because like the boss or Langway division is very tough. So yeah, you stick with the bossy, try to beat up on the weak teams over there, and then just try to tread water when you play the Langway.
Well, I say about Keith getting all the luck in the game against me, but I did get Forsberg back, Keith, which turned out to be the difference in that game, right? So I had some good things happen by getting Forsberg return.
It's fantasy.
Yep.
Love it or hate it.
Yeah.
You never talk about the stuff that happens good for you. Only stuff like, at least you mentioned that there.
Well, it did. It went my way that way. And not only did he come back, but he came back well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in his first game, he scored 2 goals.
Yes.
So that was a big return for me for him coming back. And I wouldn't have won against Mustangs this week if that hadn't happened.
You got Kucherov back soon too,
Yeah.
you got more than enough to pass the guys that you got at Jace.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, but that's why I also thought it was important that I went 1-1 this week.
Yeah.
To stick around, right? Well, I wouldn't say I'm sticking around right now. I'm still way back, but at least I didn't lose any ground. So hopefully I can go 2-0 this week. And I think I can. I got an important game coming up against Pitter Patter, so they're alone could do something. And I got one against Seaman.
That could be a big swing. You
Yeah.
beat him, the other game, and you win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
8 points.
So I guess overall, I would say I was happy with my week.
Yeah.
It was a good week. Worked out all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the key to that really is what it comes down to is the fancy stats, right?
Yeah. 100%.
You can say, I went 2-0 this week, but fancy stats says, like Nick went 2-0 this week too. Let's see what the fancy stats says.
I went 2-13 in fantasy. Yeah.
Beat the 2 guys that you can only beat.
That's fantasy hockey. They're in a nutshell right there, man. I kind of went through my my schedule, and I was kind of looking to see when do I get a Gators Highlanders week where I get to play them both, and I don't get one. I get a shitty one every week, but I get a really strong team every week with it as well. As I was looking
because if you're playing on a crossover, you're getting somebody in the other division.
I said, man, I can't catch a break here. Give me a 2-0 week. I need a 2-0 week. So anyway, that takes us to the flying colors. In my notes here, I got rebuild with about 8 question marks. I don't know. I would say yes to the rebuild, but the reason I'm not going to say yes to the rebuild is because Jack Hughes is sitting on the bench. So Flying Colors are 5, 9, and 0 for 10 points. Are they really building? I don't know. For the week, they went 0 and 2. Sealand beat Flying Colors easily 6-1, and the Rangers thumped them 7-0 as well. Nick, are these guys tanking or what? What is going on here with this team? One thing we know for sure, they won't be 500 this year.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys were talking about it last week, and I don't think it's been cleared up yet. I'm not sure at all.
Why wouldn't you be sitting Jack Hughes?
Yeah,
Or why would you be sitting him? Why isn't he
Yeah.
playing?
I don't
I mean,
know.
he's got one other injured guy out there.
Yeah, it makes no idea.
Are we?
I'm just as baffled as you guys.
If you don't understand, just put your hands like this.
Yep. Yeah.
There's 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yep.
Yeah, Garrow's a tough cookie to figure out, man. I just I don't know.
Yeah.
But one way or another, they are definitely on the way down. I know they've at least went 0 for 4. And now a team who actually I guess, they went 1-1 this week. I'm talking about the Flames of Fleury. They went 3, 9, and 2 for 8 points. They had a better week because they went 1-1. The Rangers, now granted, losing to the Rangers is no shame. They lost 4-2, and it was a good hard fought battle as well. But then the Flames easily beat up on the Capitals 7-0. I think McDavid might have got him out of the lottery position and just barely into 5th spot, barely. So, I mean, you take a look at playoffs right now, and he's the closest spot to him would be 14 points of pitter patter. So he's 6 behind there. He's 9 behind the wild card. Is McDavid going to be enough, Keith?
No.
You can.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You can add on to that if you would like.
No.
Help me, boys.
He won't be in the bottom. He won't be bottom 4.
No, he's not going to be bottom 4.
He'll be 5-9 or whatever it is.
28 points. He's got 10 wins, ties, and shutouts, but his save percentage is 84. So he's a wild card team at best.
Yeah.
So he's got the goalie starts, but his save percentage is really low. So that's wild card there. So that's 1-1. And his points only being like at 30 points. 40 points, actually. No, that was you actually that had 40 points. He had 28 points. That's, third tier in the standings, really. And that's where it'll get caught up on him.
What is 36 points, Keith?
That's up there.
No, he only got 28.
No, I just want to know where 36 lies.
Like top of the midfield, I'd say.
Top of the midfield.
Yeah.
I'll take that. That was me.
Yeah, you keep.
Anytime you're hitting 40 points, you know that you're running with the big boys, right?
Yeah.
I could probably add on 5 points if I had Kucherov.
Exactly.
That would take me to 41.
What'd you get last week, Keith? You're up in the 30s, right?
Yeah, I was into the 30s, I believe.
Dean's 30s, I'm 30s plus.
Keith was 35. He was 1 point behind me.
Yep. Bo was 30 plus, right? So
Yeah.
But
there was about 6 teams in that area.
His defense doesn't help him a lot. He's got Barrack, Home, Jensen, Duncan Keith, Lindholm, Muzzin. I don't see a lot of points there.
No.
So he's relying on penalty minutes and plus minus with those guys, which is actually could be a good strategy based on certain weeks.
Yeah.
Speaking of penalty minutes, Ryan, what the fuck? What do you got over there? A goon team?
I got goons.
Like nobody in this entire league can compete for that goal from you.
I got what, 50 plus, 52?
But it's not just this week. It's like 36, 40. I'm like, man, nobody's ever going to catch you.
He's just
in the Pims.
Marchand help doesn't hurt him.
Yeah, Marchand again. He's suspended for 3 games. So
you know what? I would so love to bring
like 5 points for him.
Is your dog eating again, Ryan?
Yeah.
Jesus.
What'd you say, Keith?
Is he out for that hit on OEL?
Yeah,
Or whatever it
Yeah,
is, Slew
three
foot or
games.
whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
they got 3 games.
That's 5 points
Yeah.
this week that you don't get from him now.
I know.
But
I
you,
would-
you got the big, no, you didn't even get a penalty minute for it.
I would
Yeah.
like to institute, I don't know how you can do it, but something for a suspension, like you get a bonus.
Ooh, I like that. Speaking of ideas, I like Nick's idea. Nick's
like
idea,
a 30-minute
a week ago.
penalty. What?
I like Nick's idea. We should talk about that. The
Conditional picks.
conditional. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot, actually. I mean,
I think it would make perfect.
Yeah, go ahead,
It makes perfect
How
sense
are
in
you
this, like
gonna-
McDavid's.
How are you going to get a conditional?
So you'd have the way I think they do it in NBA is that if you end up being in the bottom 4, then you get the pick rolls over to the next year. So you'd get your bottom 4 pick, but you get your next year's pick or something like that. I haven't really looked into it, but they do it obviously in the NBA and NHL and the pro
Yeah.
league. So we should be able to do it too.
I think like if we just did something where just keep it simple, like you make the playoffs. If I trade for McDavid and I make the playoffs, it's my first. If not, it's like a second in this prospect.
Oh, wow. We're getting deep.
I know. I like it
Yeah.
though. That's the way it should be. I like that.
That's just, you're asking too much from people.
Yeah, it would start
Yeah.
getting complicated, I think.
I mean, let's be honest here. We talk about Garrow and we talk about JP. Like, what are they doing? You obviously, you'd have to be a moron to know that they don't really follow this that closely.
Well,
they
sometimes just need a
they
booster,
put
though.
some effort into it, and then they just they're not like us. Let's put it to you that way, where we're 100% in. Like, I mean, I've gone through the days of going to the site 3-4 times a night to see how I'm progressing throughout the night, right?
Yeah.
Where those guys, they check in once a week or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Let's be honest.
Oh,
Let's be
I
honest.
see.
So if we're gonna add something even more complicated into that, I just don't know
It
how.
would start getting, yeah. It would start
You
getting
know.
much.
I still think
Yeah.
there's a way. I'll
No,
keep
there
looking.
could be, and I'm open to it. I'm always open to new things. So
Yeah.
for
Thing
sure.
like in the NHL, they do some crazy stuff where like, oh, if he plays in 60 games, that's the condition. I think we would, if we were gonna do it, we'd have to just keep it simple, and it's, do I make the playoffs or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
All right. So anyway, carrying on, in 7th place is our youngest owner in the league, Blake Driver's Florida Gators, coming in at 3-11-0 for 6 points. They had an excellent week for the tank. They went 0-2, lost to Nick's Move Like Jagr 4-3.
Big loss. Yep.
And they lost to Sealand 6-1. So it was a good week for Blake. Blake, I don't know if you remember when he had those 3 wins, he was way up there. I think he was around 3-3 at one point, or 3-5 anyway, for sure. So he did a masterful job. And if you remember, he was out of whack on the fantasy stats. He's right where he should be now. Right down at the very bottom. I don't know if he can compete with the Highlanders for the lowest. Be interesting to see. I know Dan's got some hidden gems under there waiting for the playoffs and whatnot. So what do you think of Blake's job here, Keith? After, first year coming in as a young guy, he followed along with Ryan and Wes, what we were up to, and he came in and did a pretty good job last year. And now he seems to be doing a really formidable job with the tank as well.
Well, if you had the benefit of seeing Ryan master it last year, then he can essentially take it from what was taught to him right away. Understanding how to tank and why to tank, it's a good play. I mean, if you're talking about a rebuild, there's no better thing to do than, there was enough podcasts last year that said that draft the following year is the one that we really want to be paying attention to.
Yeah.
And obviously he must have been listening. So he picked
I don't
it
think
up.
he had a choice.
Yeah.
He went all in last year. He had nothing left this year.
No, nothing.
He was sucking no matter what.
I honestly didn't think that team could make the playoffs
Yeah.
last year. And I thought what Blake did with the team was pretty amazing for a first year guy coming in doing that. And then I thought he was screwed for this year. And then I'm watching him rebuild and I'm seeing him doing it just right.
Well, because it's if you look at what, the easy thing to look back at his trade history and see what kind of trades he made last year when he was buying. Now see what kind of trades he's making as if he's selling now. And if you might be able to pick up what he's trying to do for himself. My guess is what you're saying is that he's doing a quick rebuild. If we took a look at his prospects, what he had at the beginning of the season, and then what he's got now, that would be
don't forget
he's getting those add-ons in trades.
Don't forget, Blake also came from the school of Wes, who doesn't believe in prospects. So it took Blake a little while to realize it. Well, maybe it's not a bad idea getting a prospect or two around.
What's his prospect list right now?
I'm not sure.
He's got Verhey from Florida. He's got
really?
Robertson in Dallas.
Yeah.
He's got Bouchard in Edmonton.
Holy shit.
I know.
Yeah, he's got some good prospects.
I
Yeah.
know.
That's
He's got 1 first rounder. He's got 3 second rounders.
I love that Robertson. That
He's got-
kid.
Absolutely.
Fucking
So
good.
obviously he no matter how he came in or whatever, he invested his time because the podcasts are they work if you're listening enough.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
he's obviously played fantasy hockey in other leagues.
No,
He's a raw rookie.
he's what is Blake now? I keep calling him 24,
He's got
but I
more
guess
money
he must
after
be
one season
older
than
now.
you do in 8.
What?
He's got more money than you in 1 season than you do in 8.
No,
Funny.
I said to you at the start of this that I miscalculated last week. I actually have $150 in winnings and he has 106. So I was wrong. So no, I have more money. Of course I have more money. I've been doing this for 8 years, man.
You've been doing it for like 30 years.
That's right. 30 plus years.
Oh man, I was drafting in the early 80s, and we had one season where you could only draft either Gretzky's goals or his assists. You couldn't have both.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
You couldn't have both. It was just too unfair
Wow.
because whoever got Gretzky would win.
Crazy.
It was just that simple.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you want? You want his goals or your assists? Of course you want his assists.
Yeah. Way more.
Way more every year. Yeah. Like, I mean, he had 163 assists one year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Jagr currently had 157 points.
yeah. His 163 assists would have won the scoring title that year.
Yes.
And probably the heart.
Yeah. And
Yep.
he still had like 50 some odd goals or whatever it was as well to go along with into 200
50?
points.
More like 60, 70.
Well, no, not at that time, because that 163 would have been probably that 212 season.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing 49 goals then.
Math adds up.
So 49 goals,
I don't know.
163 assists
Sure.
for 212.
Just
That's
49.
Just-
nuts.
that's
just
stupid.
nuts. I
Oh,
know.
well,
Well, that's what we had to do. That's what we had to do. And then I used to take those, the cardboard boxes, like a moving atlas cardboard box. Well, I would break those apart and put them on my wall, and everybody would come to my house for the draft, and I would write the draft person's name up on the wall so that you can see who's getting drafted and everything.
Sounds like fun.
I have been into drafts for a long time. I learned it in what year was that I actually learned it? I think it was 83 when I finally learned about hockey drafts. And I was pretty much hooked. Remember officepools.com, Keith?
Absolutely.
Those
That was ragtag
days.
fucking hockey pools.
Yeah.
Let's pick 20 players and guess what? When they're hurt, do fucking bad.
Too bad. Except for the year that Terry moves to Medicine Hat, and then you guys make a new rule that we're gonna have a mid-season draft and don't tell Terry about it while he was 100 points ahead, and then all of a sudden lost because he knew nothing about this. Yeah, because he lived in Medicine Hat, and Dean Molberg won because of it. Yeah, I know. Fuck yeah, I remember officeschools.com. Yeah.
You know what?
I don't hold on to grudges. Don't think
had
that.
nothing to do with it.
I don't hold on to grudges, not at all. Anyway, we got to move this along. Anyway, Dan the man, as I said last week, has the record of 0-41-1 for the worst record of all time. Obviously, he can't beat that because he's already at 112-1 for 3 points. But once again, Dan had the perfect tank week, beating Nick's moves like Jagr 5-1, and the Mustangs also. So the Salters kicked the crap out of the Highlanders this week.
One's happy, one's sad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
All right, so let's recap the bossy then. So we've got the Harrison Lakers still in first place at 12-1-1, 25 points.
Moneymaker.
Yeah, the moneymaker, the Harrison Moneymakers at 12-1-1 for 25 points. East Coast Brewers had a nice week. They're 10-4. Pitter Patter is 7-6-1 for 14 points for third place and a playoff spot. The Islanders not so lucky at 5-7-2 for 12 points. They're in fourth spot, but not a playoff spot. Flying Colors all the way down to 5-9 and 0 for 10 points. Looks like they're going even lower. Flames of Flurry still trying to get that McDavid magic going at 3-9-2 for 8 points. And the Florida Gators, who are on a nice losing streak right now at 3-11 for 6 points in seventh place in the Bossy. But the Highlanders, who've done this once before, sit lowest in the league and lowest in the Bossy division. So that's what we got.
Second time being that low.
He was 0-41-1.
Oh, holy fuck.
Second tank time. Yep.
He has the record.
That's going to be hard to
But
beat.
he came back and he was pretty powerful for a few years. So
Yes,
Yeah.
he was. But the one thing that if you had watched the podcast, we talked about this last week.
He didn't get a good pick.
He didn't because he didn't
Yeah.
learn. He totally stripped his team and had nothing for
Yeah.
the playoffs. This year, he's learned how to do it and have some guns in the barn.
right.
Although maybe he's going to hold on to him, but he's got some good, like, I think he's got Peter Angelo for 1 year. Like,
Yeah,
you
he's
hold on to him. Like,
he's got options to trade. He's got options
some
to
decent
trade.
guys to trade. And yeah, I don't know what he's
I
going to
agree.
do.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like, do you
gotta
hold on to
move
that
him.
and guarantee
If you're trying to
McDavid?
rebuild, the draft is
I
next
don't-
year.
I don't think so. In my opinion, if I was there this year, Nick, no, I wouldn't do that to guarantee getting McDavid. And the reason I wouldn't do it is because
It's because
Mitch
the draft's
Marner
so
is the
stacked.
worst. Is the worst
Yeah.
pick in that draft. If
Yeah,
I
in
am
the
getting
top
Mitch
four. I don't-
Marner in
I
fourth
think
place.
I think I prefer Marner over Matthews. That's just me though.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Matthews or Marner, whichever one you take.
Still
Bottom
good,
line is
Yeah.
if I suck in the playoffs, but if I can get somebody good for Peter Angelo,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it because I'm not the difference between 1 and 4. Yeah,
It's
It's not-
McDavid. Yeah.
like normally we're talking McDavid would be like a 115 point guy and Marner would be a 95 point guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in the first round this year would be the top 5 in any
Oh.
regular draft.
That's true.
Yes,
Yeah.
McDavid's a little level above, but you're not losing that much,
Yeah.
especially depending on what you pick up for Peter Angelo for that 1
Ryan,
year.
you
Right?
gotta try to swing it so you can get that first round pick from Bristol.
Like his first round pick.
Yeah.
How great would that be?
McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Dan man would never do that.
Hmm.
Well, if he
Oh,
does it this
okay.
year-
I
if
see
he does it
Ryan.
this year,
I see Ryan going like this, so I won't say never.
No, never say never. I'll think about it.
Nope.
That'd be great though. McDavid and Drysdale on the same team. That's what Dan was like. He messaged me. He's like, I'm surprised you haven't made an offer for McDavid yet. And I said, well, I know you might ask too much. So
Yeah.
but I didn't make an offer.
About that 5-year hiatus I was talking about taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two together, man.
yeah, but you know the good thing about now that the league's expanded a little bit is the fact that we're starting to get these super drafts now.
Yes.
So, because
Yeah.
the first few years
Yeah.
it was good, and then there was a big drop off.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, we're starting to see the draft is all of a sudden getting into the rounds to late second and third rounds where guess what? You're filling up fucking your third line with second line guys
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
and
So
gel teams.
yeah, I
Right?
agree. I agree.
You know, like fuck, it took a while for it to settle itself down, but it's done it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you
Yeah.
can't, the advantage is these guys must be signed for their 5 years. There's no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't
Even the
drop-
draft, like even the draft next year, like if you go through and look at the 2-year guys left on some teams, there's some good players there too.
Is there?
Oh yeah.
I'll take
yeah.
a look. I'll have to take a look.
Like I know Braden Point's in there.
Oh, Obi's in there for sure. I know that.
Mark
He's-
Stone.
Yeah, Mark Strom also. Stone and
Stone,
Mark
yeah.
Strom. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll take
Yeah,
I'll
there's
take a look at that.
It's not as good as this year, obviously, but there's some. It's not a bad draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Better than some of the slim pickings in years 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had 3 first-round draft picks once, and it was one of the shitty down years. I didn't understand it yet. I was like, fuck.
Well, like I said, remember we were talking was it last week, Ryan, or 2 weeks ago that we were talking about? I think it was year 2 or year 3 where Tyler Johnson was like possible first overall.
that's
pick
my year.
that year.
Yeah, I think that was my year.
But
I think
Was it-
Nick Foligno went first overall one year.
He was high.
I
Terry took
think
him high.
Matt, who?
You took Nick Foligno high.
Nick Foligno, like first overall one year.
No,
Yes,
no.
I took him high.
100%.
Nick,
took him high.
100%.
Yep.
You took him. He was a top 3 pick. I'll find it right now. It was in our second year of the.
You took him high, Terry. I know you.
Yeah.
I know you took him because you traded him to me. Like
I
the next
don't
year.
ever remember having Nick Foligno on any of my teams.
Well, you smoke a lot of
had.
weed, so.
I do.
That is very true.
Thanks,
Let's find
buddy.
out.
I know for sure because you traded him to me. You traded me Nick
Okay.
Foligno.
20,
I might have
2015
had him.
draft. 2015 draft. Courtenay
Where'd I
Islanders select Nick Foligno, 3rd overall.
There you go.
No, but
Would you like? Would you guys?
Okay, what was picked before him?
Tyler Johnson was 2nd by Al. And would you like to know the 1st overall pick?
Who I do. Who is
Matt
it?
Murray.
No, it was a real good pick.
It was a good one.
Oh, a very phenomenal pick.
Go ahead.
Somebody that's in the
McDavid.
draft this year. Yeah, it was McDavid.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
JP.
There you go.
JP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was he the Chiefs back then?
Yeah, he was.
Around-
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you had a-
Johnson,
wow.
and Foligno, wow.
You
Yeah,
want to know who the
so-
Suds? You want to know who the Suds picked 8th overall?
Who?
Mark Stone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I believe in
Jesus.
Stone. I
No-
believed in him back then.
No
He was an
wonder
Ottawa.
you win
I
so
still
much,
would.
Ryan. That's an
That's a nice
excellent
pick.
draft in a
Yeah.
shit draft like that. Like I took Nick Foligno 3rd overall.
He was coming off like a
That's-
70-point season, though.
I don't
Yeah, he was.
care. It's
He was.
Nick Foligno,
Yeah.
for Christ's sakes.
That was also the 2nd draft. Like we had the inaugural
sure.
draft to make our teams, and that's the 2nd year.
Yeah.
So
That's fun to look back. I might look back at that too, actually. That could be
Yeah.
a podcast, looking back and making picking shitty fucking picks.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
but
like it.
if you did stuff like that, Ryan, you could certainly get the tendencies of how people manage their teams over the
That's
years.
true. That's true too.
Because you would be able to go, okay, fuck, he drafted this way, and then fuck, he drafted this
Yeah.
way.
Intel. It's all
Th-
intel.
Those are good summer podcasts, Ryan.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it.
If we want to
Yeah.
get
Okay.
together in the summer and we
Sure.
can
Yeah.
do keep that in the back of your mind. See, I would have to write it down or come back and watch this podcast to find out what the hell I was talking about. So yeah, no, I like ideas like that. Now I would like to do some summer
right.
podcasting.
We could do that.
and whatnot to keep things going. So yeah.
You know, it's almost like some of the things that Dale would do on the West Coast side. Like,
Yeah.
because Renee would do, they all had different jobs, right?
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
the years and stuff. And so Dale always handled the financial side and stuff. And then Renee handled the advertising and the players of the week and whatever it was that he was going to add to it and stuff. And no, fuck, I'm too stoned now to remember what I was gonna say.
I liked it though. I think you're going somewhere good.
Yeah, what were we referring to before that? Ryan?
Drafts, I think.
I
Summer,
have
summer,
no
summer
idea.
podcast.
Only because I can relate so much, Keith.
Oh, okay, yeah. So-
I remember now. I remember.
Yeah, right. Dale knows the history of every franchise
Oh, yeah.
on Excel. He's got it all fucking set out. And I always said to myself that, fuck, these guys put way too much time in this shit. But now obviously CBS does it, and that's not required.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not.
I
Yeah.
actually I thought about doing this last summer and was doing some deep dives into some franchises. Like you can do like if you get a guest host and whatnot and go through a franchise from year one to I thought could be another thing along the lines of summer podcasts.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And stuff like that, if I was going to expand on stuff like that, because I enjoy doing it and then I miss it when it's gone.
Yep.
Usually I'm burned out by the end of the year, but after a few weeks, then it would be nice to at least do one every 2 or 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, I like it.
Podcast. All right, it's that time for fancy stats. This is where we're going to find out who's the real deal in our league right now. And as you know, Fancy always tells it like it is, the real story, the scoop that you don't normally see. Coming in 5th place. How is this even possible? How do you come in 5th place with Fancy, and yet you sit in 5th place in the Langway division? The Port Elgin Wolfpack at 62-34-9 for 133 points. What do you think, Keith?
that tells me that there's some consistency there.
Yep.
He's having some really good weeks.
Some really good weeks. And it also tells me that Langway is very, very strong.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like very strong. Like this may be the strongest any one division has ever been at any time. Right now.
It'd be nice if it was that wasn't that way, but
it has its ebbs and tides. I remember one year the Bossy was really dominant, and that was one of the years they got the wild card as well. But yeah, it doesn't. I think it's still early.
Yep. But we're not going away. Yeah. I'm not going away. Dean's not going away. Keith's not going away. Celine's not going away, and Bo's not going away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's early or not.
Yeah. If you get the right offer, if I get the right offer for some of my assets or whatever, I would
maybe it goes
consider
away.
it. But
you're not dropping them to the top.
It doesn't make sense because even if they get taken now, I'm still going to be
up there
anywhere from 7 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And fucking, I don't know if there's a win or lose in there. So
it depends what you get.
It's gotta be a big offer, right?
Yeah. It depends what you got back.
Yeah. So, but yes, you know what? He's got combination packages, man, and come on, man, Fox, the kid's unreal.
But
unreal.
How are these for first round matchups? If as everything sits right now, it would be Keith against Renee, and it would be Bo against Dean.
Nice. I like
it. How's that for first round matchups?
Who am I facing? Sealand?
What's that?
I'll be facing Sealand. Who am I facing?
You pardon me. You would be facing
I'd be facing
you would be facing Bo.
I'll look at it.
I for some reason I thought the Rangers were in first place.
Oh,
they're not. So
yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
They'll get there, don't worry.
No shade intended, Arcade. No shade intended. Trust me, my friend.
Hold on, no, because it's technically, even though the wild cards are better teams, it's still by seeding, is it not?
Yeah, no? It should be. It should be right down in the.
So Renee would get Nick? The Lakers would get the Wolfpack, and then Ryan, you would get Dad.
Okay.
And then Brewers and Sealand and Rangers Pit Pat.
Keith,
that tells me that we have to make a trade then, Ryan.
That's right. Trade some guys away. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Fuck, if they're gonna
Seeds,
go to somebody, I might as well go to you, because I don't want Renee to win.
seeds are
All
always
right.
being planted on these podcasts. There's little Easter eggs out there for you people, little Easter eggs if you just listen along.
Yeah.
Anyway, very consistent team. Fourth overall in fantasy once again is the East Coast Brewers, coming in at 77, 24, and 4 for 158 points. That's quite a margin over the Wolfpack. They're like 25 points ahead of them. That's a fair space.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, it's a good gap. Yeah, pretty comfortable, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah, it's there just seems to be a really big disparity between like first and fifth, and to me it almost seems like there's 4 real contenders here right now. Yeah, it seems like, and I would have the East Coast Brewers in as one of those contenders, and I wouldn't say that the Port Elgin Wolfpack weren't contenders, not by any means. I wouldn't say that at all. They are contenders.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying I think that first 4 is the elite of the. I think they're kind of in a little different level. Not that the Wolfpack can upset or beat any of these teams. I wouldn't even call it an upset.
Yeah. Dan was out first round last year. He had the team
Yeah.
to beat, and it can
That's
happen
right.
again this year.
So anyway, the team going to third place actually dropped a spot in fantasy
Damn
stats
it.
this year, and that so he obviously knows who I'm talking about. The Bruins Suds fell down a spot. They are now 81, 18, and 6 for 168 points,
Terrible.
which is 10 points over the Brewers. Yeah,
Oh, well, it's good enough.
yeah, it's
Early-
pretty good. You know,
It's early
you're-
on. Yep.
You're sitting right there, looking
Yeah.
good. And it's not like the second place Colwood Rangers picked up too much on you. They're 82, 17, and 6 for 170 points. So they're 2 points ahead of you. What do you think of that, Nick? Old Dean.
Yeah, that's a close one. Yeah, I think that's going to be a tight race for the division.
I think
Yeah.
so too. I think
Yeah.
so too. Unfortunately, be nice to have a nice, easy division win, but there's too many good ones.
So
Yeah.
Keith, we know the 2 guys at the top pretty good. Seems like
Well,
they're
fuck,
up
you got
there
the
a lot.
moneymaker and you got the fucking golden one, right? You know, one's fucking got the farm out there on the fucking peninsula and in the mainland, and the other one's up on that fucking mountain dropping fart bombs constantly. And everything he touched turns to fucking gold.
Let's just tell it like it is. He has the Midas touch. Okay, that's it. Like Markstrom couldn't stop a beach ball for Al last year, but now he is the Berlin Wall with the gold.
Yeah, fuck, was there one
Berlin Wall.
GM last year? Was there one GM last year that was willing to give a 3rd round pick for Markstrom?
No, I don't. I wouldn't have picked that.
No, I
that
don't think that there
contract.
would have been one that would have.
Not on that
But
contract.
somehow fucking Markstrom ends up on the fucking Rangers and he's gold.
So it's not just me noticing all these things going on.
No,
The most frustrating sport in the world, fantasy stats. But of course,
and it shows, right?
yeah. However,
But that fucking, you know what? You could, at the end of the day, you could see the tiers, right?
yeah,
You got the top 4,
yep,
you got the next 4 probably, you know, like if you start breaking it down and then
yeah,
set them up against the standings, and it's probably
Yeah.
the way that it should be.
Yeah,
more so.
over a full season, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Yes, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And that's how the point system works.
Yeah.
If Ryan and Dean and Renee and the Bruins or the Brewers, if they're running in that 40 level constantly all year, fancy stats says that more often than not, those guys should be winning games,
Yeah.
yep.
right? You know, so that's where I think if people use it properly, they know where they have to make the improvements on their teams.
I
Hold
agree.
on a second, guys. Come on in, Sonia. I think
I
she
agree
wants,
though.
she wants to smoke a joint, so I'm gonna let her
That's
squeak
maybe
by
she
us
wants-
here.
they should see where
Sonia?
they're at. They should see where they're at, Keith, and then either choose if they're close enough to make some improvements, or if they're close enough to the bottom, then trade some things away to get down there. I agree.
Yeah. That's just, you can certainly, the stats on the website are unreal. It's not, we used to spend fucking $16 on a hockey magazine every fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good magazine.
The days of the hockey news, just to get this stuff
Yeah.
because you've never seen it before.
I know.
Now look at how readily available it is for all of us. It's unreal.
Ryan, would you be old enough now to remember
Oh,
just the days of hockey news to get
Yep.
the real?
Oh yeah.
I used to
great
get it all
magazines.
the time.
Yeah.
I had a subscription to the hockey news because you just couldn't get that kind of info anywhere else.
Yep.
Fucking hey, underneath my stairs, I have 2 big
All
boxes
those-
of the hockey
yeah.
news from fucking 78 to 82.
I've got a hockey news that's never been opened with Dennis Potvin with the 4th cup going up, and one of the little boxes down below is talking about rookie Hawk and Lube. Rookie. You remember Hawk and Lube, right?
Yeah.
Number
Hawk and
12,
Lube.
Calgary Flames.
50
That's a
goal
tough
back.
name.
Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yeah. And it's just like, wow, and I still got that magazine too. So it's never been opened. So yeah, it's kind of cool. So anyway, of course, that brings us to the first place overall, Harrison Lakers, who've been there all year. However, surprisingly, Dean actually closed a little bit of a gap on the Lakers this week, because the Lakers actually only went 12-3 over the entire league this year. So yeah, even though they still have a healthy lead because they're 90-12-3 for 183 points, which leaves them 13 points ahead of the Rangers, but they did have a 15-point lead over the Bruins last week. So
Which they still do.
yeah, well, yeah, they do, but Dean did a little hot skip and jump, and now so there might be some pressure. Fancies might be seeing a trend that Colorado Rangers could be the ones that might be the ones to put a little screws to the Harrison Lakers. And once again, Ryan, I'm not trying to throw any shade on your thing here, but I'm just, the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Facts are facts. Data is data.
At the end of the day, if you've got 4 or 5 heavyweights, in order to win it, you have to beat them all. So it doesn't. Winning it's not going to be easy.
No.
For anybody,
No.
right? Like there's no gimmies.
No.
People are better than what they were 15 years ago in terms of paying attention and making it better, right?
Yeah. And if they're not, then they shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
There's so much, like we were saying, so much data out there, so much things you can use to like see
Depth
what players are
charts,
doing what.
fucking
So yeah.
Scoring stats, penalty minutes, power play time, penalty killing time.
Well, one of the things I was thinking about is I wouldn't mind. It might take a little extra work, but it wouldn't be that much. Is including an extra year in trades?
Oh, like you can trade away like next year's draft picks.
Yeah.
I don't mind that either.
Well, that would. But the thing is, you know what? The
only problem with that is the person who's leaving and who might be on a bad thing that could really screw up a franchise.
That's where Terry, that's where if a trade is made, then that coach GM puts $100 up and does not get that money back if they fucking don't come back to the league.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you to me that would piss me off if people just fucking make those trades and then they spend everything that they got, and then the poor bastard that's coming in has
nothing,
no draft,
and can't even draft.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, like that to me, no, like fucking. Yeah, it's $100 bond. Not that way. The team that's coming in gets that $100 bond.
Like I said, just throwing out ideas. I just like throwing out ideas and bouncing them off people, see what they got to say to them, and all good points, Keith. I agree with you. I never really thought of it in terms of that. I did think of it in terms of somebody could really tank their team if they were on the way out and wanted to take money and run if they could.
Right.
So yeah, that would be the one negative against it. The only thing is, I think that I think just I think we've gotten a lot of character people in this league, though. I really do. I think we got a lot of people with a lot of good integrity in this 16 group of people here. And I like to think, I know I could be wrong, but I like to think that nobody in this league would do that.
I wouldn't think so either,
But you never know. It's possible. You know what? Maybe me and Ryan as commissioners, we have to make a ruling on something. Somebody gets pissed off at the ruling and they're mad. You never know what'll happen.
50% are happy and 50% are pissed off.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So that takes care of fancy stats. Basically, nobody moved from last week. Oh, except for Ryan. Sorry. Ryan fell from second to third, and Dean went up to second. So I forgot about that. Anyway, Ryan, you can probably help me out on this one because I want to know, are you a pretender
or a contender?
That's right. You know what? We didn't really have a pretender or contender to talk about last week. We kind of scraped the bottom of the barrel there, didn't we, Ryan?
Right down the bottom.
Right down the bottom. And we kind of, it wasn't really a pretender or contender. A little bit. We stretched it. But this week, oh yeah, we got a pretender in the house, folks. We got a pretender in the house. Nick, want to take any guesses who might be our pretender?
It might be me. Maybe I have a better fancy record than
Keith.
Yeah.
Want to take any guesses who might be the pretender?
Oh,
My fancy stats suck.
Ryan, want to take a guess who?
I thought it was Nick because you went to Nick, but maybe not. I'd go. I'll go Wes. I think it's Wes.
So we've got Nick, Wes, and Keith picks himself, right? Is that right, Keith?
Well,
Who do you want to pick?
Five.
What?
My fancy stats say I don't belong in the top five. I think it
Okay.
says I'm number 8.
Okay, well, let's see. Nope. The pretender lives in Moose Jaw, people. Mr. Steve Grant with the pitter patter. What the hell?
Oh, he's in Cornwall now.
He's in Cornwall now?
Yeah.
What the hell do you think you're doing in a playoff spot? Pitter patter, sitting
Really?
356 and 6 for 92 points. Currently third in the Bossy at 761, 7-6 and 1. Fancy ranks pitter patter, 6th worst in the entire no control zone.
Wow.
Mr. Steve Grant, you, my friend, are a pretender.
Wow. Harsh. How do you feel? How do you feel, Steve? Let us know.
Anybody?
I said, hey, let us
Yeah.
know, Steve. He's not here. He can't defend himself.
No, he can't, but you can chirp in on
I'm
him.
sorry, Jim Rome behind you is trying to speak up.
Jim Rome.
No, he's trying to make trades because I have one sitting in my
Oh,
But I'm telling you right now, and at 43, 56 and 6, the reason Steve is at 7-6 and 1 is Vasilevsky.
yeah.
that's a difference maker. That's a Conrad
You
David.
take a look at his roster, and it's really not that good.
Well, he's
And-
like you said, Barkov and
true.
He's got some injuries, yeah.
Backstrom are hurt, right? So those two
Sure.
in the lineup help out a lot.
That is
Yeah.
moment. Steve's our only pretender in the whole league, man. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I guess he's making deals, so maybe he knows that.
figures are
Yeah.
figures, stats are stats. Steve, you will be caught. Fancy says so. Fancy says so.
Okay.
And which gives me life.
But
Gives me
that's
life being 2
what,
points
when he
behind him.
when he gets his injured guys back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
you know,
Could
that
go on a bit of a
changes.
run.
And I get Kucherov, my one injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. That's
That's
true.
not
Good
bad.
point.
That's-
Good point. All
that's a
right.
good, yeah.
Maybe he makes a deal with Nick. I don't know what he's asking
Maybe.
for, but maybe that helps
At
him
the end
out
of the
too.
day, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you have to beat the teams that are below you in the standings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you playing? You're playing this week, Terry?
I am playing Sealand, which I think I can beat. And
I'm
I'm
not playing
also-
pitter patter.
What's that?
He's
And
had
I'm
a
playing
good run
pitter patter.
there.
Ooh, that's a big
He
game.
He's knocked off Renee.
Who?
That's
Sealand?
right. Sealand did.
I know
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
He's got great goaltending, but I just think I'm a better team.
Oh, confidence.
I just do.
Pride.
And you know what? And probably not going to happen because I'm still dealing with the COVID The Islanders will be going longer here, so I'm not getting any help back from the Islanders or whoever's playing the Islanders. I don't know if I've got guys who are playing them this week. And who knows what's going to happen now with the other 8. I don't think it was anybody on my team because I noticed when I saw which team it was, I wasn't too concerned about it.
I haven't
But,
seen that yet.
That's very possible that they could be getting shut down right now, which I'll be really pissed off about if they do shut them down right now.
Yeah, but it's just maybe the
Islanders were the learning curve.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they're just saying, hey, wait a minute, there's a pattern here. We got to stop this right now.
Yeah. Well, I think there was a pattern after Ottawa got it.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem to be a pattern once the Islanders got it.
I'm trying to look.
So I'm just getting sick and tired of the Islanders always getting fucking screwed. And it's pissing me
Oh,
off.
come on, quit your fucking whining. You know, Vancouver has the worst travel schedule of any team in the NHL.
Some people like to travel.
1972.
Lots of people like to travel. I
So
like to
quit your
travel.
fucking whining.
During COVID, that people love traveling during COVID.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's take a look at the games of the week. I was telling you guys earlier, I really had to stretch in the games of the week this year or this week because of there. A lot of them are going to be smoke shows this week. They're heavily sided one way, but one that I did pick up for a good game to watch would be the Courtenay Islanders at 5-7-2 playing Pitter Patter at 7-6-1. It's pretty much a game for a playoff spot early. So that's why that game makes her into the game of the week. So
Big game. Yeah, whoever wins that one. If Steve wins, then
that's a 5-point gap right there.
is,
You know, makes
What
it
game is that, Terry?
Islanders and Pitter Patter.
Islanders in Pitter Patter.
oh, we're going
Nick
live
would-
update.
I kind of heard that Nick was saying that he had a trade ongoing there with Pitter Patter. What's going on there, Nick?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah,
What
what
do you
is
think?
happening?
Yeah. Like,
You guys will have to find out.
That's what
Love
these
it.
shows are for, to get the
Mm.
inside scoop.
No, it's the shows are for me to offer up first third for Yanni Gretzky.
Gretzky. I
Mm.
like it.
First third
Yeah.
for Yanni.
Okay, you're
First,
talking,
third
if you're
takes on.
talking Yanni Gretzky and Quick, now we can start talking a little bit more.
Ooh.
Okay, then I was
There's other
second.
pieces, right?
Ooh. Now he wants a
I'm
second.
just
Not
throwing
bad.
it out there that you have pieces and now you're just throwing them up there.
Yeah.
If I decide to say that, in my mind, I'm a contender, but I could certainly wait a little bit with some help in goaltending and some.
Oh, Mr. Quick. Mr. Quick.
Yeah.
We're talking about Mr. Quick.
Little package.
And-
Quick
and-
and Gordy.
Gord? Quick
Now you're
and
playing
Gord?
Yanni Gretzky. I'm thinking, okay, that's a good 60, 70 point guy.
Mhm.
Those
Oh,
are good depth
Don't
guys.
forget the penalty minutes too for
Yeah.
Yeah.
and nobody's better at empty net points. Maybe Ovi's better at empty net points than
Always
Gord,
doing well. Yeah.
but not
Empty
many
netters.
people are better than Gord at picking up empty net points.
Nobody.
It doesn't matter who gets them.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
I think Gretzky.
yeah, I
actually
think
has a
Quick and
record for that.
Gretzky, they kind of plug a couple of holes there for you, Keith.
Yeah,
That maybe takes you out from the 4th spot and puts you into contention, climbing up higher. Maybe.
lots of season left. Choices to make.
And 3rd would probably still be a pretty good draft pick for you, Nick.
Oh yeah.
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 I got a couple eyes on people for third rounder.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, it was a little hard pressed finding games, but this still is not a bad game at all. Here is Bo Hull's Port Elgin Wolfpack at 8-5-1 versus Chris Grand's
See that?
Sealand at 10-4, and I think this could be a good game.
Another big game.
Yeah.
Sealand's ahead of them in the
Yep.
standing. So
You know
Yeah.
what? My money's on the Wolfpack on this one.
I'm gonna say you're gonna just. We're at a point now where you're gonna see a lot of bouncing between 6 and say 14. You know, like
Yeah.
1, 4, 5 are probably closer, and then you'll see the big bouncing going on between 6 and 14.
Well, it's so tight.
Yeah,
It's so tight in there for sure.
you know. The only way the benefit comes into it is from one division to the next, is that if the stronger teams in the top side of the one division just pounce on the bottom side constantly, that'll push the other division down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win that one between the Wolfpack and Sea-Land? My
Sea-Land.
money's on the Wolfpack.
I got to see that.
You guys see
That's
that?
a divisional game too, right? So that's
Sea-Land's goaltending is just so damn good.
He's got
Sure.
Bennington and Sorokin.
Yeah.
Just Sturkin.
Yeah.
There, yes, Shesterkin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Terry's got Sorokin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's some solid goaltending.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So does he got any good backup? You know, like
I don't know.
I think Bo's got the stronger. Like-
offense?
Yeah. Sealand's got like a bunch of guys who they could put up to 30 plus, but usually in the 20 to 30 range.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
maybe Bo wins that.
Is it for like a fantasy hockey thing?
Yeah.
So you
Who's talking? So you, Nick?
That's a sexy voice.
No, sorry, that was my girlfriend.
Oh, was it? Was
Yeah.
it?
I was gonna say, was that Aiden?
No.
No.
Nikki, are you still doing that fantasy hockey thing?
That was pretty much exactly it, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Nice,
more or
get
less.
nice shirt.
naked.
I like that shirt, Nick.
It's
Yeah, it's a good shirt.
Yep.
Good.
93, 94.
Oh, he
Yeah.
came right through the Canucks.
yeah.
Oh God, I remember that. I was playing slow pitch
Yeah.
that day down at where was I? And there I fucking Rangers. I hate Rangers. But I hated the Canucks more, so I was glad the Rangers won.
I think they hate the Canucks.
Oh, you've never lived in Victoria, man.
It's true.
Bandwagon jumpers. man.
All right.
Not
That's
these guys.
bullshit.
Not these guys. Not you guys, but Vancouver Canuck fans in general, bandwagon jumpers.
But you know
Yeah.
what? See, but now if you went hockey wise initially, like when I was a young kid, it was Montreal. But I
Right.
grew into
Yeah.
Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
But now I also believe that I can also
You have to
into
leave us,
Seattle,
Nick?
too. You know, like I almost feel like I could be part of Seattle now too, right? Why can't you do two teams?
I'm a little bit invested in Seattle.
Yeah, I like Seattle.
Quite fast.
Yeah. I've been following them.
Good
And I'm
colors.
definitely going to games, and we should
After I
go.
watched it, I was like, how did I not know about this?
Yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Are you getting in shit, Nick?
No. Billy and Aiden are talking. They're being
I
loud.
remember those days. Now I just don't give a fuck. Yeah, go away. But for our final game of the week, I actually have two of the panel going head to head against each other. I got the Macaulay Mustangs at 9-5-0 going up against the Bruins 11-2-1. This should be a barn burner.
I think so. I don't know. Are you leading right now, Keith?
No, I think you are.
Am I?
Yeah, but
Is it cl-
I also know it's only like Monday night.
Yeah.
The key
There
will
wasn't
be,
many games
will
tonight.
come down to,
No.
I think you can beat me on a total run of points, but if I can saw off either goals or assists, I'd be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
And then if I need to saw off a goalie one, if I can do that,
Yeah.
I might be able to steal. a
can see that.
category,
Yeah,
right? You know, like if I beat you, it's 4-3. If you beat me, it's 5-2, 6-1.
right.
Oh yeah. I liked it. That's good.
Keith always predicts against himself. Oh, I get killed. I'll get killed.
No, he says it's gonna be 4-3 or I like that.
Yeah.
The important is like with like Renee, right? Like I beat him in assists. So that's what you need, one of those you need one of those
Yeah.
categories, and then you need either
Yeah.
the PIM or plus minus and the goalie. So
That's where the defense guys come in handy,
yeah, you've got a very strong defense.
right? So you go back to the like you guys were talking earlier about the history of teams and stuff. If you go back to the very beginning and look at the way that I drafted in the very first year,
Defense.
and then
Heavy.
look what I drafted the following years, and
Yeah.
I went goalies defense,
Mhm.
and I always felt that if you've got those 40-50 point defensemen 1 through 6, there's so much that you take away from the other team.
Yeah.
You know, the fourth lines can't compete.
No. And you can
Right?
find find forwards in the waiver wire once the season starts, right? Like
Yeah, 60, you can find guys 60, 70 point
yeah,
guys.
you can. There's always a couple, right?
The importance, I think, in the history is that just if people analyze it and go, okay, what works, what doesn't? Defense, that's 1 through 6, and good goaltending, of course.
Yeah.
So that's where you steal those assist points.
Yeah.
The guys never. Most people aren't looking at that going, okay, well, did their defenses give 12 assists that night? Like, get a Saturday night where all 6 guys are going, you got 12 assists, and it's like, what the fuck happened there? No.
Yeah, it'd be tight. I think it's big. It'd be good.
Oh, Terry's got the Excel sheet up now.
Yeah, so let's take a look at who we think are doing well for the draft setting up for next year. So you can kind of see a little bit of a pattern going on there. It looks like we got Highland with a couple of firsts, still pretty low, but Flames worked their way out of the bottom 4. Flying Colors, they've got the mid pack too, and next year those are no slouches, that's for sure. And the Capitals are 1 mid pack and 1 playoff team, which would be you, Keith. And once again, what's that?
Yeah.
And once again, I see the Gators are starting to collect now, so they've got 3 second rounders now, and first rounder, and he's still got his 3rd. So he's setting up nicely for his rebuild. The Outlaws actually haven't been as active as they normally are when they trade. So he's pretty much got 8 picks for what he's gotten, but he does have 2 second rounders. So
Oh yeah, you guys got both.
yeah. So who do you think? Who do you think set up good here with their trades? Is it the Highlanders? Is it the Capitals? Is it Flying Colors?
I think you got to go with Dan right now.
Dan?
He's got he's got.
Just for the way it's standing,
Yeah.
Because like if West doesn't get into the playoffs and he's in that 5 to 8 range,
he should.
But you got to think
if West win that.
If West doesn't make the playoffs and then he flips McDavid at the deadline, does he have is he going to get the 5th pick, or is he going to slip back to 8?
Yeah, he could fly back to 8 on that.
That's true.
And then,
but that, you know what, on the same token, that's where he tries to get the value on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
He could still try to get some value on that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
for sure. It's interesting that nobody dominated this year. I know we're still not into it yet, but by this time we usually have somebody like with 3 first rounders. If not,
I think people know that the firsts are too. I think everybody knows how valuable the firsts are this year.
I think so too. Yep, I think so. They're just too much. It's
and when you called it a couple of weeks ago, Terry, when 1st round picks and 5th round additions are given for a 1-year guy, that very well is going to be that 1st pick next year.
Yeah.
For 5 years. When you see those kind of trades, it becomes hesitant because then people don't know what true real value might be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I know as of now, I'm a little bit confused. I don't exactly know what our standard is. I know what my standard is, but I'm just a little, just with a few of the trades that went on. And this is not saying anything bad against anybody. I mean, you're all allowed to do your own thing. I think I've lost my own knowing where it would be to what's a good trade and what's not a good trade.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's the reason that, because I know people want to know what my side is because I haven't said anything, but the reason why I would contest that trade and the only reason why I could contest that trade is that that's not fair value for Wes. He's getting so.
I agree.
And so therefore, in the integrity of the league, sometimes it's better if people do have the option to speak up.
No, I'm glad you did speak up because I'll be honest with you, I had your back. I voted it down. So
it was a close vote too. It was 10-6, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not like
So there was other people who felt that way too.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was a good challenge. I never mind a challenge, and that's why it's there. And I want everybody to know that they can challenge at any time. It's a good challenge, and I didn't hear a peep out of you after the challenge was over about it. I didn't hear whining or bitching or anything. the process. So
Yeah.
you won, so that was good. So, but there's no need to keep harsh feelings against a person who challenges.
Exactly. I would
Yeah.
deal with them today. I would have no
Yeah.
issue. Didn't give a shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're just about running out of time here, and this I won't know until I edit this, but
A long one.
this
Oh,
may be
this is
the
gonna be a
longest.
2-hour. Yeah.
Well, I think hour and 46 minutes is my longest here. So I'll but
I think we're
I'm thinking we're
past
in
that.
that ballpark. I think we're
Break
in
it
that
down.
ballpark.
No.
It was good though. It was a lot of good talks.
It was fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some possible brewings of possible trades going on here. We don't know about that. So if you see something between Nick and Keith come up midweek, this was hatched right here.
Wouldn't be
Right
surprised
here.
if Dean comes calling too.
Oh, Dean. Well,
Yeah. Now that he
y'all-
hears on that.
y'all saw Dean said he was good to go for next week, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, he'll have some words.
A lot of trade talk next week again. That's what it
Oh,
should be.
yeah.
No trade
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Draft talks. It's all
Yeah.
fun. This is all good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think 4 is the limit though, if either one of you want
Yeah.
to join or something.
Well,
but-
maybe three, because Ryan said it earlier that maybe when you go over 3, that's where that 40
or
minutes.
maybe I should just stop being so cheap and upgrade since
Well,
I use it so
Oh,
much.
but if you're gonna
You know
do
what I
that,
got to do now? I have to
then bill
increase
it
my
to the league.
data. I've went over the last 3 months in a row now.
They
I-
don't care though.
What? They do.
They're
They
not
charge
charging
me
you
like
for
an
it.
extra $50 for going
Really?
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not here.
Through
Yeah.
TELUS, not through this, but it's still causing me data on the
Oh,
internet when
this will kill you data wise.
I know that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So that's
Bill it to the league.
until it's
On
Bill
that
to the
note-
league. There you go.
yeah, but
out.
I'm also podcasting the Canadian Islander fan, so I can't be doing that either. I can't charge the league for that. So
He just leave?
Yeah.
peace out.
Yeah.
How's it?
Keith was done. Anyway, Nick, thanks for coming along this week. It was a lot of fun.
That was good. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Good to talk to you guys.
What
Me
a
too.
good week to have you on when you go 2-0. That's
I know, hey.
just hilarious.
Yeah.
Fucking
Just
Yanni Gretzky, first third gets him.
I warned you.
I know.
I warned you about that guy. That guy's just how many years has he got?
2.
He's 2. Yeah.
Jeez, that's pretty tempting for me. A third, eh?
Yeah. First third. Yeah.
I know what he did for me last year. And now I know,
Oh, I
he's-
know.
I know he's not on Tampa Bay anymore, but he's
mean,
just one of
the-
their big guys.
The way I look at it is if he's always getting points when I don't want him to get points. So he should be getting points when you want him to get points. So
He will.
That's
He-
smart. I like
exactly.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
He never held us down last year. Anyway, we're starting to
Yeah.
run out of time here, guys. So
Yeah.
RK, thanks once again. It was awesome. So you guys all out there, take care and peace out.
My battery's dead.